and watch the entire thing. While I wish you would, I look, people got things to do. Okay, I understand you're busy, so go ahead and hit that link. Subscribe to the channel. Dating to Marriage Support. Love, I'm so glad to see you. I hope all is well. Lord, I haven't even said hello to the men on the chat, on the panel, and see how y'all doing. I'm like, hey, Lady Di. It's been a while since she's been in the space. I know that she was away making a baby. She had a baby in the oven. She had a baby in the oven. And so it looks like she's back. So it's great to see you. But before we get started with the show, guys, how are you doing? Thanks again for being here this evening. Let us know how you guys are doing.
Pretty good today. At work, you know what I'm saying? Same old, making moves, doing that. But yeah, hopefully everybody on the panel is good, and hopefully you had a good day. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Yes. All right. Coach Ferg, how are you? Looks like you're on mute.
Is that better?
That is better.
Yeah. Oh, how's everybody doing, man?
Doing
it's been
good.
a beautiful day, man. The weather's nice. I cut my grass in the front and planted some seeds and put together my fire pit. So I'm getting ready for the nighttime romance time. That's how I do it.
Say, let me move. Let me do it while it's nice,
I know. My wife, she got out there and put some screws in. She felt like she, built the house today. So I let her put 3 or 4 screws in.
Okay.
But yeah, it worked out.
Just get in there a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then when it's all done, she's gonna be like, guess who did, such and such in the day. Y'all did all that. That was all me.
That's her first phone call. Hey girl, I did it. I said I called it out. You right on that. I called it out.
I can't be out in this yard, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with him.
So believe me, she put you in there. Okay?
She like to get in my way though. She like to get in my way.
She can't leave you out, but for the most part, she going, take a little bit of credit for it. She already sent the pictures to the to the besties. All right, Coach Ferg. Hey, Sean, I'm sorry I didn't see you in the back, so thank you so much for being here, love.
It's all good. It's all good. How you been? You better? Got some rest?
I'm well rested.
Good. I'm well rested as well, so it's all good. What's up, fellas? Salute to you all.
Good, bro.
All right, Uncle Rick, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. Ready to wind this week down. Anniversary next week, so.
Oh man, shit! Salute.
The anniversary.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
We're going up to see.
I was gonna say, you guys doing anything for the anniversary?
Oh yeah, we going up to see Kendrick. We're going up to see K Dot on Saturday.
Okay.
Kick it up there. Yeah, kick it up there with my niece. Just.
How many years does that make?
This is 2-5. This is the
shit,
silver.
nigga. That's the Grand Marshal right there. You get your Grand Marshal hat. Salute, brother.
That's the big 2-5.
Caught up with our pain, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
5.
Great lady, man. I wouldn't trade her for none of y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
None of that shit out there.
None of y'all. Well, it's a great day. Thank you for having me again, Press.
Of course. Arpain, how are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, I'm out here. My camera's giving me some trouble, but I'm okay. I can't complain. I got it. Well, first of all, I came down with something. I don't know if it's allergies or something like that. So I'm hanging in there. But everything's cool. I can't complain.
You retired, man. That shit doesn't be bothering you right now.
No, that's why I'm here. I said I can't call out sick. I'm not working. I can't call out sick. But we're doing some stuff around the house. I got some repairs coming in and all that kind of stuff. And no, hell no, I'm not doing it myself. I'm feeding the economy, man. I'm too old for that shit.
I hear you.
I get you. You retired.
I hear you, bro.
Like Catholic school for you.
My dad definitely would say that. Like, all right, guys, thank you for being here. We're going to jump right into it. Guys, thank you for being here in the chat. Fishing the Fit, I see you. Good evening, everyone. Tarika's in the chat. Everyone, please hit that like button as you come in. Andre's in the chat as well. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Again, Lady Di, great to see you. T Berry, thank you so much to be here. Peace to the guys and goddess of love. Peace to you as well, sir. All right, so we're going to get into it. The first topic is going to be about Michelle and Barack Obama. Okay. I don't know how long these rumors have been in social media, on social media, in the Streamlight. But they have been, and lately it seems like they've been a little bit stronger. So I'm going to play this video, and it is a little long. So we're going to chop it up a little bit and give our perspectives at, certain points. But I do want to get you guys' perspective on a particular thing. So once we get through all of it, we'll go ahead and play that. Let's see if StreamYard will get to me.
Obama divorce rumors. Okay. We discussed this on the show yesterday. You guys listening to the show are not serious people. I said, hey guys, what do you think is going on with Michelle Obama? And some of you terribly wrote maybe she had prostate cancer, which I thought was really, really mean. I cannot take you guys anywhere. Anyways, we should definitely take a closer look at these divorce rumors because obviously something is going on. Okay. Now, Michelle Obama, love her, hate her, believe her. It doesn't really matter. The reality is she has always shown up for her commitments, okay? In terms of being a first lady, she has played that role very well. Even after you leave office, by the way, you're still expected to show up to certain political events. It's like a lifetime appointment in that way, right? And unless you die or are dying, they expect you to be there. And one of those types of events that they expect you to be at are presidential funerals, okay? And another one of those events, obviously, is the inauguration. And Michelle Obama, despite all of the rhetoric about Trump and Melania, back when they first assumed office in 2016, she showed up, or 2017 rather, January 2017, she showed up and she, played the part no matter how she felt about Trump. You can see here, this is a throwback and her greeting her at the White House, right, for that transfer of power. So it was raised some alarms, I should say, when Jimmy Carter died and Michelle Obama did not show up with Barack Obama. It was like, okay.
I'm gonna stop it there. So she talks about Michelle Obama pretty much showing up for Barack, during the transfer of power, when they got into office and things of that nature. Wouldn't that be her playing the role of wife as the wife of a president? Does that seem abnormal, what she was doing with him?
Yeah, yes. For me, as far as I was concerned, I did a live on BMU's called The Emasculation of a Black Man. Michelle shits on Barack Obama. When she didn't show up, I thought that was the ultimate emasculation, because everybody else was there. That was when I first thought that her ego and all the other shit that she got going for her, superseded her respect for her husband. None of us would know who the hell she was unless she was married to Barack Obama.
Right, but her showing up, and I agree with everything that you just said, but her showing up is not abnormal. So you're saying her not showing up.
Yeah. It was a signal that all the other shit that was bothering her was more important than showing up for her husband. And that shouldn't be the deal, right? Because you with the man who's here, everything he makes the difference with everything. I don't give a shit if you got a problem with everybody else. Mm-hmm. You don't like Trump and all that. What the hell does that have to do? Your husband likes Trump. They sitting down laughing with each other. What they got to do with you and the sister code? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I was pretty pissed at that. For whatever it was worth. A lot of it is selective outrage for effect. Still, I did a whole live on it. I actually got more than one view.
Precious, the point that you make, everything she did was right on point. She did it to script. Her initially, him getting into office, his political career, he raised 2 children, showing up, And our pain brings up a very interesting point. He threw the dagger straight in when you asked the question. So, but to this point where she's doing now, man, now I gotta look up to Rick and our pain. They made it to the top of the pinnacle in America, and I heard on an interview talking about men having bedpans with Tracy Ellis Ross. So, it's just sad that you do that and you at the top. And now you sort of, because Barack, he's still gonna be hot in them streets. He gonna have to apologize. He gonna have to come talk to the brothers though. That shit he did at the election, he gonna have to. If she divorced him,
he won't. He won't.
Talk to him.
He won't.
Well, he gonna have to hide over in that library that they spending all that money over on the south side of Chicago. But if she leave him, man, it'll be sad. But then she'll just be.
I think it'll be expected
that they divorce.
Yeah, I think it's expected.
Yeah, it's
I mean, let's be honest. How many of us can say we didn't see this coming?
I can see it now.
Right before this, right? Before this, right? How many of us can say we didn't see it coming? Because the truth is, right, in our demographic, right, the default is when it no longer benefits me, I don't have to do it.
Ooh, sisters all day, every day.
She receives no benefit from it anymore. Smiling, playing the Stafford wife, right? She receives no benefits for it anymore. Why would she continue to do it?
Ooh. And she ugly too. I ain't gonna lie.
She's not a pretty woman, sir.
She's
an ugly man and an ugly woman.
She's so wow.
Well, that's what I was referring to, and maybe I didn't word it right or it didn't come out right. But her being with him is not abnormal because she's his wife and he's the president and she's supporting him. But as we go further in this interview, you'll see how, and everyone has already seen, how she hasn't been there with him, which is very abnormal because it's like, okay, you were okay playing this role. It makes you feel like it was a role that she played. And so many Black women were like, oh my God, I want to be like Michelle and Obama. They always say never make a relationship your relationship goals because you don't know what that relationship is going through. You just don't. You know what I mean? The length, no matter how long they've been in, you just don't know it. And plus, people's problems are their problems. And they usually say if you were to look at somebody's problems, you probably want to keep your own problems because everybody got problems, right? And so now we see Michelle have talked about, there being a length of time where she couldn't stand her husband and they didn't get along and they weren't agreeing. And now you see how he's showing up to events without her.
Michelle out here sounded like Jada Pinkett Smith, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it thorough. That's who she sounded like to me.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna be the voice of objectivity on this panel. I agree with y'all, right? But I feel like there's also other things at play here. So like I agree with y'all, but I also feel like the Obamas were the most so I know that some of y'all are gonna be like Trump this and Trump that, which definitely has happened, but y'all gotta also say that even though that shit came from the Democrats, it came from his own vice president too, calling him Hitler and all of that shit. But we can fast forward that, but the Obamas, they were getting criticized for some of the most weirdest shit. She wore brown and everybody was talking about, she's not presidential. She's not a president, like, because she wore the wrong color. And then President Barack Obama wore a blue suit and everybody was up in arms and mad and this and that. Like they were now on the opposite side of that, they started putting themselves in some bullshit with these whole coming back once every 4 years to put, to come out like a dog and pony show and bring them out and hopefully they can swing the voters this way and that way. So I'm gonna just say that just so we have a clear understanding that there is some objectivity up here, regardless of what side of the panel that you fall on with or side of the stream that you fall on with that goes. But yeah, but it's hard for me to like totally just throw it away because my grandma said some of the same shit and she was married until my pa passed. So like, my grandma was like, yo, like, I of course, like we say it all the time, like we, marriage is, love is not the top thing. You know what I'm saying? My grandma was on that. My grandma was like, yo, it's days I can't stand your pa. It's days that you know, it's days that we don't get along. It's days that, you know, it's times that I fall in love. We fall in and out of love with each other. But we've been married so long, like it's like it's bound to happen, right? And I mean, this is coming straight from my grandma. And then when I heard Michelle say it, it just reminded me of what my grandma said. But my grandma still understood that there was a duty to my pa, and she held him down. And like my pa got his leg cut off, you know, and all that stuff, going through liver problems and kidney problems. She still threw him through all that to the very last breath. You know what I'm saying? Even though she felt at times, like, this, you know, this marriage shit is crazy, but I know with the commitment that we made to each other, and we're gonna hold each other down to the end. We're not letting our kids come between us. We're not letting the outside world come between us. We're holding each other down, even though it's not easy every day, even though we might not like each other every day. And yeah, like I could understand. And so yeah, I mean, I just feel like she, you know, it's just to the point to in the political climate, like where the shit is just crazy. And so yeah, man, that's just my opinion.
But with all of that, do you think that those ebbs and flows, so you talked about your grandmother and your grandfather, right? Those ebbs and flows came, but there was still a strong urgency to stick by his side, right? And did she outwardly show that, oh, today I can't stand him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, were there times where it was like, everybody can see that I'm detached, you know what I mean? Or was that something that she would keep to herself? Like, you as her grandson, like, did you know when she couldn't stand him?
Nah, I never, like I'm saying, I never knew, right? Of course, but
Right.
you know, she's also, I mean, yeah, but of course, like I didn't know. I was a kid, yeah, and she wasn't, you know, and we came up in that time where it's like you a kid stay in the kid place. Once I got older, you know, she talked to me about it and told me about it because she knew it, you know, eventually, like, I'm gonna be married, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so she like, yo, you gotta be in for the long call. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in it to just get in there. Don't think that shit's gonna be sweet all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so I think that it was more along the lines of that. But when I was younger, yeah, I mean, you know, my grandma, I think my grandma from the South, so she one of them talkative ass grandmas. You know how that go, right? And so they just be talking. So yeah, I mean, like maybe every now and then, like if she was talking to one of her sisters or something, but you know what I'm saying? Other than that, like that, it didn't go far. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Welcome. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to make the distinction. And look, I don't know what's going on in the house. Nobody knows what's going on in that house. However, you know, when you do make those, you know how people have their grand entrances? Well, it's also something can be felt and something can be said about when you're not there either. You know, when there just is no entrance and he's walking in there alone.
But that's part of the burden of being a couple. Y'all tied to each other. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you don't see me without her. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of it, right? Mm-hmm. And what Frank talking about is about the lies in marriages. You gotta lie. I'm not liking you today, but I can't treat you some kind of way because I'm feeling some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta lie.
You gotta lie.
Yes.
A little bit.
I don't know. That's not feeling
a little bit
with my spirit. I don't know. Like,
get your spirit right.
No, but you try to
what you're saying, but the way that you're saying it,
I know.
You know, because you know it is called the real.
Like sugar on top of everything. You on top of it.
I've been trying to get y'all the game for years. Y'all don't want to listen to me.
The real Uncle Rick.
Right? He's like, you gotta lie.
But Grandma wasn't lying though. She was just speaking. You know, like it's a responsibility and a duty once you tie the knot. You know what I'm saying? And she probably was telling you, yeah, you know, when we get old, man, you know, my wife, I had to keep up from, you know,
Precious
always been, you know, you just.
She's still stuck on. She's still stuck on the lie.
I get what he's saying, but I get what he's saying, right? But someone watching this and be like, "You gotta lie." Like, what you mean?
You. Let me tell you something.
I didn't understand it.
What I believe you're saying is you have to put her feelings before yours, and so you're not going.
No, it's not even her feelings. It's not
It's navigation.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? It's not even her feelings. You put the relationship above y'all feelings, yours and hers. Right?
It's a part of navigating through the relationship.
The routine.
Y'all don't want to be honest about
you
this
don't
stuff.
listen.
Y'all liars,
no, I want to be honest. I'm trying to get
the routine.
He just told you. He just told you. Just take it.
No matter how you feel, the routine's the routine. Like you know, if you got things to do, you can't be changing that up because of your little myth today and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can't clock out just because you ain't feeling.
It's not fair, right? It's
Right.
not fair in the game, right? That's the difference between me personally, right? That's the big difference with long-term relationships working out between one of the issues, right? One of many, right? Men know this, and y'all play like y'all don't.
Yeah.
Right. And then y'all want to tiptoe it and use it when y'all. This is a buffet, baby. You don't get to pick. You got to get everything on this plate.
Yeah.
You can't pick what you want out of this plate. Men understand once I lock you up, everything that comes with you until I can't deal with myself as a man. I'm gonna deal with it.
I'm gonna take that shit. Yeah.
That's when a man leaves y'all, is when he can no longer look at himself in the mirror being with you.
And you're a waste and you're a liability. It's
it's a long leash, and it's a very, very long leash with most men. I mean, a lot of men don't like to leave. We just don't.
But that's why what Rick is saying is it rings true, because for one, y'all can't accept the truth. No, if we were to tell you the truth each and every time that we're together, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all gonna end up having so much low self-esteem. It's gonna ruin you. Right. So what we have to do as men is to be able to navigate through it. And it all depends on the type of woman we know that we got. For instance, I told my woman once that she was messing with me, kept messing with me. I told her, quit being a bully. Right? Quit being a bully. And she was like, so now I'm a bully? And she went on with all this stuff. I'm like, yeah. And that's all I said. Do you know I'm still dealing with that? She made little snarl remarks and stuff. She'd be saying something and she'd just come out the blue and be like, well, I know that I can't say nothing about it because I'm a bully. And I'd be like, this is what it is, right? Now, I'm just older now where I don't give all that back and forth stuff and like that. When I stand on, I stand on and I look at her like, what you gonna do about it? What we talking about? Now, either we gonna hash this out or just leave it alone. And then y'all learn how to deal with that right there. But y'all can't handle the truth and nothing but the truth. It ain't gonna work. It won't work. And we ain't worried about your feelings. That ain't what we worried about. We worried about navigating through that relationship. We know we can stop shit. And especially when you got some stuff going on, we ain't got no time for all that. It's just what it is. And we pick our fights. We know how to pick our fights. At least, my generation, most men that love their women, they know when to pick their fights. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. We love y'all for real, though.
Yeah.
We love y'all for real.
Hey, and then you go and say low self-esteem. Jesus.
See, she can't accept the truth.
Like, how should you have low self-esteem?
Man, because y'all are not perfect. Women are not perfect, man. You people.
We people.
We know this.
We know
it. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want the full truth.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle it. You can't handle it. It's just
we can't handle it. Y'all can't handle it for real.
Just like when if you want a man to be a man and you out there.
Like, we're all human, guys.
It is very uncomfortable.
We can't handle it. Y'all can't handle it, okay?
It is very uncomfortable. If a woman gets into an argument, it's very uncomfortable for her. If she gets into an argument with her man and he won't let it go.
And let's reinforce, right? Let's reinforce, especially if you know I'm a good man and I'm handling business, right?
Yeah.
And we got this synergy and we out here living for each other, right? You can't. No, you can't. I'm gonna destroy your entire world. You gonna hate me. Like
It's gonna be bad.
you gonna hate yourself. No.
I agree.
Yes, everything's cool. It's cool. Don't even worry about it.
All right.
We
gonna
getting
get back
moved too. You know what I'm saying? We getting
When you going part 2?
I'm right in the midst of what he talking about.
Candace.
Okay, what's going on? And I think they said that she was overseas. I actually don't remember what their excuse was. And people online were going, no. There's like a divorce happening. They're separating. And I ignored it because that didn't really make sense to me. I was like, okay, guys, it's plausible that she did have some commitment where she could not make it for Jimmy Carter's funeral. And we should just let it go. I don't know what that commitment would be because she doesn't really have a job, right? They're just unbelievably wealthy. But I don't know. I just didn't think that a divorce was happening. But then she doesn't show up for Trump's inauguration the second time, okay? That is very strange. That, like, when he walked out by himself, I went, okay, this is now getting weird. Where actually is Michelle Obama? What is going on between Michelle Obama and Barack Obama? Are they even living together? Have they not been together? We did obviously see them during the Democratic National Convention together, but these are two significant events that she has missed. So it's entirely plausible that she's sick, and it's entirely plausible that they are separated. Now, Obama did issue what people thought was a very late birthday tweet, and I think in large part people thought that he's only doing this because people are noticing that he's not posting a birthday tribute to her, and he tweeted this. He wrote, "Happy birthday to love of my life, Michelle Obama. You fill every room with warmth, wisdom, humor, and grace, and you look good doing it. I'm so lucky to be able to take on life's adventure with you. Love you." Okay.
I'm gonna stop it there. So is that the line? We gonna lie?
Yeah.
You
You see them everywhere. You just can't put a finger on it. You see them. Yes. Yes.
You know what I
You
mean?
grease the wheel sometime. You got to grease the wheel sometime to keep the machine moving.
I love
What it
you.
is. Trying to tell y'all what it is. Y'all don't want to listen.
That's just crazy.
I'll be trying to tell y'all what it is. Y'all don't want to listen.
I had to. But I saw.
Give y'all the truth all the time and just looking past it and shit.
So I saw an interview with Michelle Obama. She talked about the rumors of the divorce, and she goes, well, how dare I make a decision for myself? Did you guys see that when she responded back to
Was this on her podcast?
I believe so, with her brother.
Yeah, that's her podcast. Yeah.
You ain't got no clip of that. I like to hear that.
I can definitely
Michelle
get it.
out here. Hey, Michelle out here like a strong black woman.
Oh man.
When I heard that,
Shout out to Bessie.
Messy Michelle.
Yes.
When I heard that, I said, wow, like some things are just so hidden in plain sight, and for her to say, well, am I wrong for making a decision for myself? Now, whatever the decision is, you would think that she would say what that decision is, especially the most important decision you made. One of them was marrying your husband. And so, why wouldn't you name those decisions and name why it was more important for you to make those decisions rather than the ones that come with the wife of Barack Obama? Go ahead, Uncle Rick.
Great point. But I got a question. Why would she even answer it that way?
Exactly. There you go.
Absolutely.
Y'all see what I'm talking about now? Right? Why would you are the ex-president, you are a former first lady of the United States.
Top sister in the country. Top woman in the country. 8 years.
Why
straight.
is she answering it like she trying to go get bottles after work?
She sound like she met up with Chiquita and them over on.
It's over with. It's over with. We all saw. I saw it coming.
Damn, it's fucked up. No. I got some
It's
hope.
over with. Like I said, it's crazy to me how people don't understand disrespect when it come out of their mouth, but when it come out of somebody else's mouth, they can see it right away.
Mm-hmm.
She's disrespecting him.
Right. In front of the whole country.
What he say when they asked him about Michelle? Well, Michelle can't be with us today. She had a prior engagement. She's doing well. She's looking to see you soon.
Yeah, it was, it's his generic speech. Just media
on,
speech.
Y'all supposed, we grown. Stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. Come on now. We're gonna talk. Let's talk, man.
Let me see if this is it. But this geez, these things just don't put Michelle in the best light. I'm just saying. We're gonna play more of the video and then we'll get to this clip.
Great. We appreciate that. But here is what the media is saying. They're saying that the noise is getting louder. According to a report, apparently she was furious to see that Obama was yucking it up with Donald Trump at the Carter funeral. A Beltway insider added that Michelle has been checked out of life in Washington, D.C. since leaving the White House in January of 2017, following Barack Obama's second term, and also noted that despite the fact that Obama's main home is in the Colorama neighborhood of D.C., which is a property that they purchased together back in 2017, Michelle Obama reportedly spends the majority of her time at Martha's Vineyard, where they own a massive oceanfront estate. Yeah, the people that tell you all about climate change inevitably always tend to buy these massive, and in their case, $11.75 million oceanfront estates. Go figure. That same source added that Michelle Obama is rarely in D.C., while others noting that when she was there last summer, it was without Obama, and she appeared happy and she appeared content. So it is plausible that they are just living two separate lives, and because they're former first lady and president, they feel as though they can't get divorced on paper. They're happy just living two lives apart. In a 2022 panel, we should also note here that Michelle confessed that she had harbored resentment toward her husband for nearly a decade. And she said, quote, "People think I'm being catty. It's like there were 10 years where I could not stand my husband." It's quite a strong quote, and that's quite a very long time not to be able to stand your husband. I wouldn't be able to stand not being able to stand my husband for even a minute. So 10 years sounds like a very long time, and that's a very strong statement. And Barack Obama later confirmed that it definitely helped their relationship to be out of the White House because they were able to spend a little more time together. So they are now.
And you see how he's
now also dealing with rumors of infidelity. There are claims that Barack Obama has been involved with actresses, and those actresses are saying that that's not true, but there's something going on. Okay, I'm just saying it's pretty obvious to me and the rest of the world that she did not show up at the inauguration, and there just has to be a reason for that, right?
So that the one part where she says, if they were to get a divorce on paper, do you think that's the best bet for them as far as their relationship is best for them? If these rumors are true, it's best for them to live apart rather than to actually put it in writing that they're no longer together?
This is if this turns out to be true and they ride this out like that, it'll be, I don't know, man. It's just so stupid for real. For real, okay, they live apart. It's gonna look ratchet as hell. It's gonna look ratchet. I'm serious. She's gonna be out here talking about men wearing bad pants. She's gonna be dogging us out. So it's just gonna be ugly. She gonna be leading. If she gets out here and she just goes and she's doing her, she gonna be showing up, popping bottles with with all the 304 chicks that want to just party their life away and dismiss the whole thing. It's gonna be ugly. She need to, if they live apart, they can do what they do. That's that's them. But I don't know, man. It's like y'all done been married 33 years. Don't nobody want none of y'all. Don't nobody want none of y'all. Who gonna give him a share? She gonna pull an Oprah?
Not the same for Barack. Barack can get.
I'm just saying, but
whether he might not like women. I mean, we don't know. Right?
All right. So both of you, listen, man. Both of y'all got points with that, but in reality, that's just not the case, man.
They're gonna stay together. They're gonna stay together, Frank. They stay together.
Listen, I believe they will, but even if they don't, there's always we got to understand that when it comes to like, we got to understand that when
that's
it comes
wild.
That was pretty wild. Why you practicing so fast?
I'm dead. No, but when it comes to celebrities and these people that make it to certain points, certain like the upper echelon, the rules are not the same for them. I don't understand why we act like it is. It's gonna be a dude out there that say it's gonna be a wealthy dude out there. He's not gonna be making as much as Barack Obama, or he's not gonna be as prestigious as Barack. But just because this woman was the first lady, he gonna be like, yo, we see it all the time with chicks that ain't got shit. We see it all the times with chicks that ain't got shit. So I don't understand why we act like the shit's not gonna happen with somebody who got something. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it does make sense because there's no longevity with it. So when you're talking about somebody, of course she can get somebody. That's the problem. When you're talking about somebody just getting somebody, that's not pretty much what this is about, bro.
I'm not talking about just clapping, dogs. I'm not talking about.
No, but listen to what she had signed up for, right? This lady is still, no matter if she wanted to or not, she have people looking up to her. So she is what they consider to be a role model. Mm-hmm. The problem that I see that she has is, first and foremost, she put herself on a podcast. It's not going to be, this is some shit right here that's going to be something that's going to be new. It's very new. The first lady, and the thing is that once you're the first lady, you're just the first lady. Unless your husband got impeached or some shit and got kicked out of the presidency, you're always going to be that, right? You can still call it the formal, but it is what it is. Same thing with him. So her getting on a podcast and talking about relationships, and she's on the wrong side of history already when it comes down to that. And you got to remember, people scrutinize these type of people. She's already been scrutinized for I would call it misspeaking, but it was in her conscience when she sat there and called herself trying to be a woman that was trying to get a kinship with someone she was talking to. And she said that, I'm a single mom. Y'all remember that? When she said she called herself a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm a single mom. And then she tried to clear it up. She said, well, I feel like a single mom.
Yeah, I remember.
This is why she was married and her husband was in the presidency. So her doing that type of speaking. And now the biggest thing that she's doing now is the one she did with Tracy Ellis Ross, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So now they sitting there talking about single ship, 51 years old, talk about she got younger boyfriends. She ain't never had no kids. It's like you don't realize you're going to be sitting there at 60 years old talking about, so what all of this, what is it all about then? Then you're going to have Michelle. I used to be married to the most powerful man in the world. And then she going to be talking about some crazy shit. So that's why it does matter.
Like, okay, so Barack Obama, like, you gonna get better than him? Like,
I never said that.
No, Frank, this ain't even talk. This is just me talking, right?
Yeah. No.
Like, it's Barack Obama. Like, who after it? Tom Brady? Oh, nope, he got divorced. He was the best at his sport, right? Michael Jordan? Nope, he got divorced. He was the best in his sport. Oh, Jeff Bezos? Nope, best in his business is gone, right? Like, who you gonna get better than?
The president.
You know what the yardstick is, though, too, with that? She's going to keep her last name because that's her whole identity now. Look at Lala Anthony. She's going out, dotting it up everywhere. But she ain't leaving Carmelo's last name on. And he's a basketball player. All her clout is because she's Lala Anthony. Yeah. Right? Because if she wasn't, she'd be just another nice-looking chick with curves. I mean, she could be successful and all right, but we wouldn't know her as a national name.
We did before she got with him.
She wasn't no national name.
What was her last name? What was her last name?
She only went by her first name. She only went by Lala.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
what's her name?
Okay, but I'm saying that she only went by Lala.
Right.
And everybody knew her. I'm just saying we can't downplay.
Everybody call her Lala Anthony, right?
Right, because right. But before that, everybody was just calling her.
Yeah, Lala. But she stopped being Lala. She stopped being Lala, and she became Lala Anthony.
Right, that's a form of respect because she was a married woman.
Give it up.
Two things should be true.
Am I tripping? Okay, I'm about to say. Okay, all right, maybe I'm tripping.
Frank, no, to your point, no, they're tripping. Frank, you're not tripping. They're tripping. She was Lala. She was on TV.
I know she was.
She was on
hey,
one
Frank,
of the most popular
blink if your girl listening, bro.
He fought for Lala, didn't he? He was fighting for Lala.
Listen. I just want to make this very clear, man.
You sweat? You over sweating?
It's a little hot, man. But listen, I'm just saying, bro. I just want to make this very clear, man. It ain't got nothing to do with no type of stuff like that. What it has something to do with is like we can't make statements that's just like not true, bro. Yeah. Like we're on a panel with people who like there are people who possibly know who Lala was before she got married to Carmelo, like Sean, because he, I think Sean is in the entertainment business,
right?
So, but I'm saying though, but if you watch MT now, you're more.
Frank, ain't y'all the same age? Ain't you and her about the same age?
Yeah, so I'm saying so our opinion. You're a little bit older than me and things like that. But if you didn't come up watching MTV videos, BET, then okay, you wouldn't know who Lala is. But for the people, the generation that grew up with MTV, BET, and all that shit like that, we know exactly who Lala is.
And can I say this? Only reason you're sitting there saying that is because you're sports fans. Some people don't know who Carmelo Anthony is. So let's be clear on it.
All right. Okay. Lala Anthony had a bigger name than
but Frank, it was just a time. Frank, I understand what you're fighting.
The point is that she gained a whole lot more fame when she married my man.
Okay, so that's true, but you didn't say that.
That's the only point I was trying to make, Frank.
Without my big brother. But you
hold on, I wanted to play this video.
God.
Listen to what she says here.
Well, I couldn't have gotten through 8 years in the White House without my big brother. But you talked me into supporting his run. And he was smart enough to know that he needed to come to you and sell you on the idea.
Everything happened so fast because Barack went from a state senator to a U.S. senator. And next thing you know, people were saying, this guy should run for president. You were like, no, not doing it.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
So, I mean, did she ever want to support him? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
she did a good job as first lady. You got to give her that. So she was playing the game, but she did a good job playing the game as first lady. She took a lot of shit, but she had some good stuff.
She didn't really do shit.
Well, what as first lady do?
No, she ain't have no calls. She ain't have no calls or nothing.
Well, that's not true.
Well, what she do? I ain't know. The only thing
Michelle's job was to look good. I ain't gonna say look good, right? Be presentable.
She had that kids
shut the fuck up. That was her job.
We got a whole bunch.
She got some flack for that, for having kids eat right and shit like that. So I know she was doing that. I mean, but as much as First Lady,
they didn't do shit. And they fatter than ever now. that was like just say no to drugs. That was
Beyonce doing the dance.
We ain't trying to put some extra shit on Michelle Obama, man. You know, she does what First Ladies do.
Man, they pushed in that. I can see her brother. You know, he was. Yeah, I can see why they pushed that old agenda on us right there.
Her brother's.
Hey, he started out smacking his lips. So
I went to Burma and I didn't know no Michelle, whatever her name was.
I mean, listen. She would have been.
What's her last name?
But the fact that she married Barack Obama put her in a whole.
Girl, that ugly guy talked about Coach Ferg. You hear what I'm saying?
In the back of the bus.
Her and her brother look like twins, didn't they?
She gets a divorce.
Instead of being front by the bus driver, she could go past the front seat like such a little glass.
You shit, Coach.
I'm just saying, I got questions. That's all I'm saying. I got questions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it doesn't set a good precedence for them at all. It just told that whole thing. Y'all remember the little video they did? I think it was the Aaliyah video, or they had a video and they had all these damn people that were married. And they had this thing of relationship goals. They had Barack and Michelle. They had the Anthonys. They had the doggone Smiths, Jada and Will. They had all these people that was together. It's a video that they had, and I think it's the Aaliyah video. I'm pretty sure, or it was something else. But I just remember they had all these couples, all these famous couples that were together, and they had all these relationship goals. What happened?
They failed.
All of them. Every one of them.
Precious, you asked the question, should they go ahead and put it on paper? While I don't agree with that, I think they should, because she can't really have a life without that. If she tries to do that, somebody is going to find, they're too famous to kind of, live up to a false lie for a long amount of time. They've done it enough, and if they really want to, that's probably why she's unhappy, because she's been living a lie for a long time. So I think that, that maybe they should put it on paper so that they can go ahead and try and have a life separate from one another.
But she would, man, for one, again, that's why I said she's still first lady. She still get, the same, not the same perks, but she still get perks. She still get the whole thing with the security and all kind of other things that goes. Now, my whole thing would be, if they did do it legally and put it on paper, do she lose all of that?
Right. If she divorces him, does that go away?
Well, I don't think it ever happened before in history.
Right.
Well, that'll be the first time.
Yeah,
on the niggas.
Because
too.
it's the first black.
Yeah, that'll be just fucked up, man. That's like
so, let me
black folks
that statement that I just said.
They're not getting a divorce.
I hope not, man. I'm praying. Don't do it.
Let me retract that statement that they should put it on
Scratch.
paper. They should just live it out.
Just live it out. Leave it alone.
I bet you she filed first, though. I bet you
I bet you,
I can see she filed first.
If it happened, I can see that all day. Especially after these interviews she giving out here. Talking about men with bedpans.
So what do you guys think that would do with the whole diaspora of the sisters?
Nothing.
They're gonna run through.
I'm saying, do you think that they would champion that?
They'll be happy and then run to the next bubble of delusion.
Of course.
That's right.
Well, that's
Wow.
And they'll just be baby mamas forever.
how would
Single sisters.
Obama divorce impact America's view on marriage, or will it? Because we all know that marriage is not the popular opinion in these streets. So will it even affect the way that people look at marriage?
No.
It will lend to the bad behavior that a lot of people are practicing right now. The immoral. See, the one thing when y'all said that, I reflected on all of the presidents' wives that probably was unhappy but stayed in it until they died, and they made that sacrifice. I can just see there's still some that are still unhappy.
Unhappy about what, Sean?
Unhappy
I'm
about
happy about being able to do anything you want in life as a first lady. What you unhappy about?
well, ask Hillary Clinton that. Ask
What
Hillary
are you
Clinton.
talking about?
She wasn't unhappy.
Ask Hillary Clinton that. I don't
That's
know why
crazy.
they're unhappy.
That's crazy when you think about it, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's wild. But this is the thing
That's
about Hillary. Hillary still played the game, and you got to understand
That's
the
my
difference
point.
between the two. Hillary was still a politician, also, so she was a politician.
She's still
She
playing the
loved
game.
that game, right? She loves the game.
she love it more than Bill.
Michelle don't like this game, and she didn't want the game, but she still married that man. But the problem I have is that, damn, it's just a black eye.
So when y'all ask unhappy about what, you just answered it, JT. Like,
yeah, but I bet you should be.
I'm just saying.
I bet you she'd be even more unhappy if she do whatever she do. Barack, even if what if Barack say, "I'm not dealing with this shit no more, Michelle,"
Right?
And then he go get him a white woman.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not
marrying the shit out of her.
But I'm not disagreeing.
White women before Michelle.
Huh?
Oh, baby.
No. I'm talking about marrying a white
Yeah,
woman.
that's not gonna make her more unhappy.
Listen,
I mean, even
I'm not
unhappy about.
I'm not disagreeing, bro. Like, but we hear people come, we hear entertainers come out all the time and say, like, my life, I got more money, my life is just not the same. I can't go to dinner without people coming up to me wanting to take pictures. I can't just have a normal life.
All
like
the
my life ain't normal no more.
Boo-hoo. So grab me a fucking river.
Precious,
I'm
I want to
not-
ask
That's
you
what
a
the
question.
brother was saying.
I want to ask you a
I'm not
question.
saying,
Just for a second, women
I'm
who
just-
crave attention, all of a sudden, now that you're getting it, you don't want it. Women love attention, but now she's getting. I'm just not just you, Frank. I'm just saying, what is she unhappy about? What?
You can't say that. You can't say that, Frank.
I'm just saying, y'all cannot act like people are.
No. But Frank,
come on, bro. Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, why do we not
She
act
can
like
do everything. She gets $100,000 to speak anywhere she speaks.
Yeah.
She does all kinds of shit that the average person could never ever have. And she's got something to be unhappy for. Get the hell out of here.
He got
man.
Secret Service and everything.
What are we talking about? She's just a regular
Can
chick.
I answer that?
Who she's got all this
She
shit.
just
She
didn't
doesn't
like that
appreciate
nigga.
it. She doesn't appreciate it.
When-
That's
when-
it. She doesn't appreciate God's gift to her because she can't walk around with her dick out or something like that. Nobody cares. I mean, she's just an epitome of a spoiled woman.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
woman. I mean, get out of here.
Okay.
The average woman is toiling her whole life away. Here you are living in multi-billion-dollar mansions and shit, and you walking around like, oh, woe is me. I'm so fucked up that I gotta live with this asshole who was president, the strongest man in the goddamn world, and oh, woe is me.
The grass,
Here, man, stop.
Okay, the grass is always green
She got
on the
Secret
other side.
Service.
And until you there, you might have that. You might have that opinion. But if you look at more than just women, people who have had everything, and they have, you have people who have unlived themselves. You have people who have done, and I'm not talking what
You just pushed our point right there, though, Sean. They want everything. They want it all, and they still not happy.
The point is that's because they're thinking that's because they're measuring happiness with success, and it doesn't, and success doesn't add up to happiness.
Tell me what the happiness is then.
Again, it's to each his own.
Yeah, so we talking about Mrs. Barack Obama.
Well,
what was so bad with her where she has to be at a point where she say, I don't love it anymore. I just don't want to be this. And she got everything that she ever wanted. She wanted to get that man. She wanted him to marry her. She wanted that man to do all these different things. You can't pick. You can't just have a smorgasbord and say, I want that, but I don't want that. You got to take it all.
Can I answer the question now? You said
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. What is it that she's gonna be happy with? Obviously, she's not happy with the fame and everything that everybody is looking at and sitting here saying that this is what should make her happy. Obviously, that's not what made her happy prior to her getting it. It was, and she agreed to do it. She still wasn't happy, and she's still not happy. So everything that we see that we think is glorious and fulfilling, obviously it's not for her.
For the
first time that we did on this panel together, I agree with Sean. Golly, dog, for the first time, it is. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I don't get why I just don't get it. And I understand that for the most part, if y'all look at even male entertainers who get it all and get famous, they do the same shit. There's male entertainers out there who go from nothing to something. They get to where they thought that they wanted to get to. They thought that everything was gonna be, and then they unalive themselves, or then they own drugs and get overhooked. Like they do stupid shit once they get there because they didn't realize that the shit that it was gonna take to be there. So yeah, she followed them. She did her thing. She stood by him all the way through, and maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't think that they was gonna win that shit, right? They won it, they got there. I'm just saying they won it, they got there, and now the shit is different, bro.
You just make it look bad on her part. That's not good what you just said. I'm gonna let go ahead again.
I can't even no, because I'm just saying, bro, like at the end of the day, like people, I'm just saying that people are people. Like you don't.
She was a brat. If she go by based off of what you talking about, she's a brat.
No, that's not what I. It's not about being a brat, bro. It's about real life. Like when you're like, okay, like I understand that there's gonna be things that change. Like now, okay, like now I don't get the time that I was getting with my husband because his roles are gonna change. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be there. He's gonna have these opportunities. He's gonna be doing this. We're not gonna really get the alone time that we get, like that we used to get, all of those things, like that we had maybe at the beginning of our marriage, or maybe whatever the case. They met in college, right? So, or at the law firm, whatever the case may be. So like, yeah, so like shit done changed and got progressively different now. And now you're getting scrutinized more than ever before in your life. Every little thing that you do, you're getting scrutinized for, and you're getting scrutinized for on some shit just for being black. Like at a national level. Like I'm just saying, bro, like it is what it is, bro. Y'all can say what y'all want, but a lot of y'all wives a lot of people wives, not y'all, but a lot of people wives will fucking crumble under the same shit, under the same pressure. Like there's some wives out here that crumble under less, like low key, like
right.
See.
Right. So basically you saying more money, more problems, right?
Facts.
Take that.
More money, more problems. No. Yes, I do want to ask you.
But that is but what you're saying, Frank, what you pointed out, this is the thing that we have a problem with people. They ask for something and then they're not willing to take on the good and the bad of it. That's the only thing that I'm saying. It ain't like this woman sat back and didn't know that she didn't see other presidents and first wives in front of her. She met them hand in hand. They knew what the presidency was going to be about. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like she was just like, oh, this is just something brand spanking new. We don't know anything about this.
Were those wives getting criticized just for being white? Were they getting criticized just for wearing a color that they? I'm just saying that they wanted to wear. Bro. You know, come on, bro. We can't act like people Frank, don't got feelings, bro.
No,
like
I'm saying that people got feelings, though, Frank. I agree with what you're saying on that, right? And the only thing is that this is what I don't understand. Where is the resilient spirit? The shit that she was out there preaching to the young women, black girl magic, and all this stuff that she was saying. It's weird to me when people can't even take their own advice. That's all I'm saying. So when you're talking about something, as I can understand, this is why you got so many people that will fail when they're right there at the brink of success, right? And they will fail. And a lot of times what they don't tell you is that they're failing because they're scared for the success, because there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that success. And the only thing you can do is just live your life in that. To crumble and say, I forget it and all that, that shows how weak you are.
Facts. But the last thing I got to say is she stayed.
How we know? We don't know that she stayed.
Well, I mean, that's what they didn't get a
don't look
divorce.
like she stayed.
Did they get a divorce?
Right now, it's on the fence.
You know some shit that I seen.
I mean,
you know some shit that I ain't heard.
Just because you know, just like I do, Frank. Just because your ass ain't get a divorce, don't mean that you still together. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on, bro. Work with me.
Only problem I had was that you've already gone through the presidency. We 8 years past that.
Yeah,
your children are grown. Your agenda didn't get pushed through. Listen, I can understand the ideology behind that agenda. The second time when he was in office with the LGBTQ, I can understand that. Yeah. And she probably feel like it was defeated. It didn't go through. She saw that the rest of the country, outside of us, big lip, big nose people, are not with that man. The brother fuckers. I'll just use that. The world ain't with that.
Shout out to Fantastic.
But the thing about it though, she's already been through the worst of it. Yes, she was criticized about her outfit. Black folk didn't care about her outfit. We was like, man, she looked good with Barack up there. But then when she gets out, now that when you've already been to the mountain, now you coming back down here, you bringing chaos to the young women who looking for leadership. See, brothers are getting it. The women, no way that she can go out there and say, man got bedpans and get out here and be free as a bird. She gonna get knocked up. Dudes, hey, she don't want none of these streets. Stay right there with Barack. Ride that shit out. Stay on the different side of the house. But it's just sad that she's out here promoting that. Now Barack done came before the election and tried to shame us and shit. Now he's standing over, it's just a sad thing all around, man. So, Precious, I just have a question before we get a chance.
Go ahead.
So if you listen, all these brothers up here, right? Maybe some other brother. If you the question I'm gonna ask, I said everybody up here because now the question I will ask, do you want to get married after all this that you've been hearing for the last go?
I don't give
for sure.
Okay, so with that, listen.
That's what's
you
up.
make sure you hit him up with Rick. Y'all do some, and Rick talk to him for a couple of weeks, months, or whatever. I'll play. I don't know about Sean, maybe for Frank and JT. You know what I'm saying? And make sure it happens. He ain't got all.
My line is open.
Yeah, he ain't got no 4 years, 5 years, none of that. He need to be locked down before the Olympics so y'all can go on out there to California and catch a tan and let your new hairstyle just blow into California. That's all. It ain't that hard.
I don't subscribe to what people have to say about anything, honestly. I don't live my life that way. I was raised right. I have my own beliefs, and I don't what people say. But the White School Podcast said, so now she doesn't have to put up a front anymore. Wow. She can just be an almost normal person.
Not unless she gives away her last name and go back to her other name.
Yeah, go back to her maiden name. Take care.
It doesn't matter. And that doesn't matter. Why?
I mean, she probably will, trying to get some normality, but it won't work.
They're attached.
It won't work.
The legacy is built. There's no her without him. More so that way, right? More so that way. There's no her without him. Yes, that's his wife, him within her, but there's no her without him. She will. But if she get married to another man, people, when they see her picture, they're going to call her Michelle Obama.
It's the same with Kobe Bryant's wife, bro. You never leave that. You never leave that. When y'all been together like that and people know what
difference.
it is.
That's the difference, right?
Same thing.
Yeah, it's just the duty. His legacy's tied to her, everything.
Mm-hmm. There's one big difference between Kobe and her. You're right. They don't separate, but she's a widow as opposed to a divorcee.
And people still gonna call her Kobe's wife until it don't matter who she get with. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is it don't matter who she get with after this. Like, people still gonna call her Kobe. They gonna be like, yo, that was Kobe's wife.
But as a widow, you can respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's respected in society, period, right? Because it's always attached to it doesn't matter if she get married. The man that had the highest status is the one you're going to associate her with
all day, every day.
That's how it works. Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife been married I don't know how many times, but that's Schwarzenegger's wife. You see what I'm saying? That's the highest. That's the highest. The highest dude she can get was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Juanita
Sean,
Jordan, she's married again, but I bet you everybody still associate her with MJ.
Yeah.
Larsa Pimpin. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
Sean, go on over and give him your last name, Sean. Go on over and give him share your last name.
That's all right. Nah, I'm good. I'm contemplating even marrying in my life.
Here we go. Okay, let's go on to the next video. Okay.
All right, what's going on, Precious? Let's see.
Phone call in, and I wanted to get you guys' perspective on this because this is a couple who is newly married. And is this crossing or is this setting a boundary or being insecure?
Zach, me and my girl just got married not too long ago. I'm talking fresh off the honeymoon. Everything's been solid for the most part, but there's this one thing that's been sitting heavy on me. I asked her to change her phone number, not because I don't trust her, but just out of respect for what we're building. I'm trying to move forward clean, a new chapter, new energy. You know, I don't want old flames, no old exes, nobody from the past thinking they got any type of access to her now that she's a wife. And she wasn't feeling it. She told me she's had the same number since high school and ain't trying to change it. Says it's too much of a hassle. And on top of that, she's a hairstylist. Her number is how clients book her, refer her, all that. She's worried if she changes it, she might lose clientele and mess up her money. Now, I'm not trying to stop her bag, but at the same time, I feel like in marriage, certain moves got to be made to show you're all in and to protect what you're building together. Am I wrong for feeling like this? Is it too much to ask, or am I tripping?
You tripping.
Man, that sounded like Frank. Frank, was that you?
You tripping, man. You tripping hard.
Damn, yeah, hell no, that wasn't me, dog. Hell no. Hey, look,
He's tripping hard, man.
Hey, listen,
just for the simple fact that even if she appeased him, she could always give the nigga she wants the new number.
But we have social media.
You know, so this is really that is I would say that's insecurity as far as I'm concerned. I think he's tripping hard.
Facts. In our opinion, it ain't even just that. We got social media these days. If somebody want to find you, they gonna find you. It just is what it is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got an Instagram. Change your name on Instagram so people can't.
You went out.
Mute.
You
muted.
Shit, my bad. I was saying
so excited you muted.
No, I was because y'all trying to call me. Y'all trying to call me out. Y'all trying to call me out, but I agree with you, R-Pain. I'm just saying we got social media these days, bro. So it's like he gonna make her change all of that shit? You know, change your Instagram last name, change your name on there. It can't be Boutique by Shantique no more. It gotta be Boutique by Shantique and them. You know what I'm saying? Like now people gotta look for the and them to find you. You know what I'm saying? Like now you gotta change your Facebook up and all this. Okay, like it would be one thing, I guess. Like I don't even know, but it could be one thing if she wasn't a business owner. Like if she wasn't an entrepreneur. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, like, that wouldn't be that. To me, it wouldn't be that. But you know what I'm saying? If he said, yo, I'm starting over, let's both start over. Okay. Then he put it out there all on the line. But you know what I'm saying? But you know that your wife is a business owner and you know that she got clientele and you talking about, oh, I don't want nobody to be able to reach out to you, bro. Come on, bro.
Man, he lost me at the presentation. Then he lost me twice when he said, well, I feel like, nigga, I don't care how you feel. You know how inconvenient it is to get everybody a new number, nigga?
Oh, man.
You know how inconvenient that is? I'd have had the same number for 20 years for that simple fact. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it don't matter if somebody got a. You see what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
What you talking about? It don't matter who got her number. It's who she pick up the phone for, nigga.
Facts, man. Talk that talk.
That's a valid point. And I was gonna say the proposal is an interesting one. I don't agree. When the business came in and it lost its luster.
It just fucked it all up for sure.
Yeah. So I can understand that. But let's just say she kept the number and they got another number. I don't know. It's to your points, if you don't trust the person, your number ain't gonna really matter.
Right? Why you even marry her, nigga?
Not
Like,
one
you
bit.
called her number, didn't you? Didn't you have her number? You stupid ass. Like that's
Right.
this is insecure.
Yeah.
This right here is insecure, right? No rhyme or reason except to make him feel good in the moment. This is not no protection, right? This is not no provision.
Well, in fairness, we don't know. We know from what.
Oh, yes, we do.
We know.
No.
He put it out there.
No, hold on. Right. So that means he questioning his girl, right?
He put it out there.
Now, what I'm saying is
no. Answer the question. Answer the question, sir. So that means we have to question his girl, correct?
We have to question his girl.
Yeah. At that point.
Yeah.
Because what he making it about her for sure.
Right. So what I'm referring to is that we don't know what happened between them to where he's making this request. So to your point, yeah, we are questioning the girl, but it might be a reasonable question.
He said everything. See, I listen.
We don't gotta know what
That's why I tell y'all listening is a skill, right? I listen. Everything was good in the beginning. Everything's been good since we've been together, right? We've been going rock solid. Ain't that what he said at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
It's this one thing that's eating him up.
Yeah.
Hey, he's not even insecure. That nigga's a dumb nigga. He's dumb. He's dumb.
He making problems when there are none. If you say that's your girl and she rock solid and you trust her, what's the problem?
Yeah, he inside his own.
That is so funny because I got a real anecdotal experience with that. When I first met my wife, you know, every so often, man, we had the big ass flip phone, but I mean, she would have get a call here once in a while when we first started dating. Those shit, they just stop. All that stuff just stopped. All those numbers just stopped. Right. Nobody called at all. And you know, so she took care of it. She just took care of it. We had the big
at the Motorola bags and the Centels back in the day.
She said, my man don't want me talking to nobody because he might think that somebody is.
No, she ain't have to say that. She let them know I'm with our pain. That's how it happened. She let them know when they call. Man, I'm with our pain. Me and our pain together. Don't call me no more.
Y'all need to chill the hell out, bro.
Hey, Lisa. Look up to the old lady.
I pay with you on CDs and shit.
Our pay said they had the big cell phones now. They was no cell phones in 1920.
Switchboard operators and shit. Y'all use switchboard.
Y'all crazy.
Y'all need to chill out for real. Stop that shit.
That's why
Stop that bullshit. Get yourself together.
My man, Uncle Rick, I couldn't let him slide with that. It wasn't no damn cell phones in 1920. Stop your
Oh God.
That's crazy.
Yo, Frank ain't shit, yo. Frank ain't shit. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, we know who's to ruin the classroom, boy, with the jokes. We already know.
That's why he used to get sent down to the principal's office.
Oh, it'll be me and Frank.
Every day, dog. Every day I was in the principal's office, dog. I couldn't help it.
Parent teacher conference, I'd be like, it was my friend Frank. He was the one making me laugh.
Frank ain't making you laugh. Who's Frank?
Right.
Tell me who Frank is.
Who's Frank?
He comes strolling in. Miss Frank looking out.
I'm pointing at him. They ain't go right there. Making me laugh and stuff. I be trying to do my work.
I'm on his ass though. He come on down there and see me.
Like that one time that I was doing my work and Frank tapped me on the shoulder and he just started doing stuff. It don't be me, it be Frank.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Man.
If you have not already, Harrison and Darnell, thank you guys for the cash apps. I really appreciate you. If you so feel it in your heart to donate to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. All right. So we're going to move on to the next video. Now, I was watching Lapeef Network, and they were talking about men and authority and police authority. And I thought it was an interesting conversation. I remember years ago, it was a get together, and I had asked a group of guys, like, you know, what is it when it comes to you guys just doing what the cop says, or, you know, just submitting to that authority? And there were just so many different, you know, none of them said, oh, that's what I do. That I don't have a problem with that. None of them said that. So I want to play this video and get you guys' perspective on it, because we all know that there's trauma behind police brutality and things of that nature. But I just wanted to get you guys' specific perspectives. And of course, the chat definitely chime in.
Of course, I'm recording too.
All right, so what's the reasoning behind this?
Let me get your license and registration, please.
I don't have the actual copy. I have a license.
Do you have a license? Can I see the license?
I have a picture. Yes, I'll be able to show you. I'm recording, so right now I can't show you.
Yes.
You can look it up on my name.
No, I cannot. I had to see it. I had to.
You can't physically write it down on the computer.
I had to see the license.
I've done this like 20 times.
Not with me though.
Anybody, cops.
Okay, but
you know, I don't want to stop the recording.
Okay, but you don't have to. But I had to see the license.
All right, so you could look me up.
Hear me out. You get what I'm saying, right?
No, you hear me out. I'm trying to just leave. I'm hungry as hell. I haven't ate for like. I'm just trying to get my breakfast and go on about my day.
And I get it.
It's frustrating to anybody because it's like you guys take advantage of your job.
Well, you guys.
Can you guys see the video?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Really?
If you just click it off and click it back on, we probably be able to see it.
It would have never happened if I would have just got out 5 minutes ago.
But you didn't.
All right, and that's cool. Okay, and what's the problem? I seen what you was doing.
So we getting somewhere, right?
Okay,
we did it. So now that you're here, that you out, this is your car, and you were about to drive the car. I have to confirm who you are.
All right, can you run my plates? My car's registered.
I did, but
and
I need to see your license.
I'm recording a video, man. My phone is the.
Thanks, sir. Can I get one more unit to my location?
You serious?
Okay, I need the license. I
all right,
need insurance.
I'm gonna pause my camera, but I didn't want to.
Well, how are we gonna get to see who you are?
You could. I'll give you my information.
Can I see the license?
Excuse me. I could give you my information.
Okay.
Man,
isn't it better if I just see it like in your picture?
Yo, and I know who you are. And this
I don't know who you are.
You dated my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
Years ago. Jonathan.
Okay, I do know Jonathan,
exactly.
but that's nothing to do with that.
I know who you. I remember you from Forest Day. I hope you do something crazy because I'm watching.
Okay, why would I do something crazy?
I don't know, because you're doing something crazy right now. You're not giving me a break. I'm literally in there for 2 seconds. I'm trying to make money, do something, and you literally harassing me because I'm here parked up.
All I'm saying here, I need to see the license.
You could search it up. It's on camera. I'm saying what I'm saying.
But I'm recording as well.
So your boss would tell you what I'm telling you. You could search up my name and your computer and you see if I have a license. You understand?
Hear me out.
No, man, I don't want to.
You have a license, right?
All right. So I saw that video and I wanted to play it because he just did not want to submit to her authority. And I'm like, well, you don't want to get your license because you're recording, but did you really feel as though that there was a threat there? You know, most people record because they feel that they're being threatened, or they need to because they feel as though something is going to happen that they need to have proof of. But this gentleman just was not having it. He just, what is the mindset of not wanting to adhere to simple instructions?
So, first and foremost, I don't think that she's even capable for that job.
Mm.
It used to be to be a police officer, you had to be at least close to 6 feet, right?
Really?
Yeah, it used to be, and a lot of places you used to have at least 5'10" was the size. That woman looked like she couldn't handle. First and foremost, she was doing too much reasoning, right?
Mm.
Officers don't do license and registration. He don't want to get license and registration. The first thing you do is you call back, especially being that small. You call for backup. License and registration, we ain't got nothing else to talk about, right? You don't want to do that. Now you're being detained, right? Step out the car now. You don't want to step out the car? Don't worry about it. We about to go ahead and tighten you up in a few minutes. License and registration is all we need. Hear me out and listen and trying to reason and all these different things. That's not what an officer is supposed to do. This is what gets you in trouble. No, you need to get that license and registration. You don't get the license and registration. Now you being detained. Now you done took it a different way. She wasn't following protocol at all.
No, she can't right there, JT. And I'm just gonna tell you why. She can't right there. She said in the video, you came out, you got in the car. He was not that wasn't a traffic stop. She seen him coming out of a store, and then she tried to get his license and registration. If you're not operating a vehicle, your constitutional right says that you don't have to give up your license and your registration because you're not driving a car at the moment. It's not a traffic stop. So the person who would really get in trouble for this, and I'm glad that he was recording. Now, I'm not proud of the way he went about it. I'm glad he stood up for his rights. But at the end of the day, she would have got in trouble for that. She could have gotten, if she would have detained him or any of that, like that shit is a civil lawsuit, bro. Like that you can sue her for doing that, bro. No cop can come up to you and just tell you to give you their license and registration when they have not seen you operating that vehicle. That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know. No, they can't. No, they can't.
If you parked illegally, they can ask you for that.
Yeah, okay. I'm just talking about if you're not you're right. But if you're not operating that vehicle or you're not parked illegally, they cannot ask you for your driver's license.
Yeah, if they don't have probable cause.
Right,
I get it.
And it's not a stop. And it would have to depend on if it's a stop and ID state. If that's not a stop and ID state, then she can't ask you.
So let me ask you a question. Can he sue her in the streets? Can you sue her in the streets?
No. But
so number one thing is this: you don't hold court in the streets, and that's the other thing. You go ahead and go through it. You comply. Give her the license.
You have none.
Right, and so now, right, you're gonna have to handle that in the courts, not in the streets.
The only reason, listen, the only reason why I'm giving pushback is because I see First Amendment auditors, literally, this is their job. They do it every day. They have court in the street every day with these cops.
Can that man have court? Can he? I'm asking. She called for backup.
I'm saying,
right. So if you don't want no hot sauce on your burrito, and you trying to get, and if you trying to get to your, and you say that you hungry and all these different things, a nigga that's hungry would have just said, "Here's my license."
Yeah.
Right. That's it. Now, this is the craziest part. What happens now? He gets pulled over. He still get detained. Now it's just going to take forever. Now he can possibly, depending on where they at, he could possibly lose his life.
They gonna tow his car and everything.
Everything, and I agree with everything you're saying. I agree, and I wouldn't want it to escalate to that. All I'm saying is that the officers also have to be careful too in this situation, because you only can detain them for so long. If they detain them for longer than it's supposed to be, that's in their SOP, then guess what? If that person sued them, then that's what
she called back up for an irate dude. This shit is about to go from being detained to an arrest.
Right.
What I'm saying, right. So what I'm saying is
lawsuit after though.
Okay. So even if it would be, you fight it in court, you don't fight it in the street. Yeah. You ain't that damn hungry. Let me tell you.
And not necessarily that it would go to court. It would probably go to court on his detriment. One, I know he didn't have no driver's license because he would have just gave it to him. He was illegal some kind of way. Now, like I said, if you park illegally in the streets and the police ride past, they can just pull up, take your license, and make sure, okay, you came right out there at the wrong time.
For sure.
Then they're gonna ask for your license, identification, and then they're gonna ask for your registration and your insurance. Especially when you do dumb shit. And then the fact that he was so resistant, then I thought she was too close. You know what I'm saying? I thought she,
Yeah, I mean, she. That's what I said when I
and if
was
they
there
arrest
with
you,
it.
if
Yeah,
they
that's
arrest
what.
you, you're gonna be in. They're gonna take you. It's gonna be at least 3-4 hours. They're gonna.
But
tell
that's
you
why I said what I said too,
it's gonna be
Frank.
ugly.
I don't think that she's even capable for the job. That tell you right there. They just need some people.
Then he bringing up personal shit. You dated my cousin.
No, she handled that shit. She handled that shit all wrong, and he did too. But the thing is that this is how things get escalated. If you man, you handle things as a man, right? Here's my license. Here, shit. What you got me for? Nothing. All right. Well, I'm gonna see you in court then. Thank you.
I'm trying to eat my burritos.
Trying to get my. You don't want no burrito. You don't even want to talk about burritos. A lot of people, if you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying
the hot sauce is the taser.
It's the issue. No, but this is the reason why the whole two things that right or two things can be right at the same time, or two things can be true at the same time, should I say? It's like everything you saying is right, and of course, like if you're thinking logically, yeah, like I mean, I don't really have here in Colorado, like it's a big military presence, so you don't really get that type of,
They're the biggest assholes.
So, yeah, so like
I was at Fort Caution before.
I'm saying they normally let me ride. Like they don't trip on me at all. But it's just like I get why some people do this now, because now I feel like with the cops, and it's not just a black thing. I just feel like people are starting to stand up. People are starting to know. Like people, like there was a time like where you didn't know what rights that you had when it came to police officers. You thought you just had to obey anything that they said because it was a lawful order. And then you started finding out, like when I think around COVID hit, that's when all these First Amendment auditors start coming out, and you started realizing like, yo, like a lot of shit that we thought that was lawful orders is just not lawful orders. And if you say no, like I'm not gonna give you my ID for this, then and they take your ID, then it's a lawsuit. Like, okay, cool. So, but you have to get now. I don't want nobody to die, be killed or anything like that. All I'm saying is like, yeah, like once it gets to that point, and then they are like, you gotta ask certain shit like, yo, like if I don't give you this under threat of arrest, like, are you telling me that you're going to arrest me? All right, cool. You gonna arrest me? All right, yep, boom. You got it on camera. Now I'm giving you my ID. Guess what? Now I'm taking your ass to court because you already told me now that you're threatening arrest on me. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna give you my ID. I got it on film. You violated my 4th and my 5th Amendment rights. Like, it's cool. Like, we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. Like, and that just is what it is. I think that people have started watching, a lot of people, bro. If you look at them First Amendment auditor videos, them shits all be
Is
just
it Frank's
about
video? Is he?
No, I can't. Can y'all hear me?
I hear him.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, like you watch them shits, they all be viral.
It just went.
Yeah, they all be viral. They all be over millions and millions and millions of views because. And I'm listen, I'm just saying they're informing the public. So like now people are starting to understand with these police officer interactions what is legal and what is not legal. And when sometimes y'all know sometimes these cops will pull you over and it'll be a ticket, and then they'll be like, all right, I smell weed, cool, get out. Like, damn, like I don't even smoke. All right, cool. But like these are things that people are starting to become aware of now. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I agree with you, and I agree that it could escalate to go way further than that, and that's not what I want to see. But I do appreciate that the public is starting to become more informed, and I hope that people go about it the right way, and you know, and do it the right way to where it doesn't escalate that way. But I do like that people are also standing up for their rights. That's what I will say.
I believe in minimizing your contact with police wholeheartedly. I don't care if they pull me over. Here's my license. What you need? Send me on about my way. Right. I don't have no problem with a cop doing their job. I have a problem when a cop act like they got a problem doing their job.
Yeah.
There you go.
Understand what I'm saying? So if I'm pleasant, which I'm gonna be, right? Even though I'm pissed off, you pulled me over and you just seen a guy fly by me. You know what I'm saying? Right? You pull me over and I'm pleasant and you pleasant and we can get on, right? You're gonna give me a ticket. Like I said, I have never not got a ticket, nigga. Like my wife don't never get no ticket. You know what I'm saying? I'm pleasant no matter what. Hey sir, how you doing? Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? If he go back there and he be back there more than 7 minutes, I'm getting a ticket, bro. Give me my fucking ticket so I can get on about my day.
They used to write it. They used to write it. Now they print it out.
Uncle Rick don't even get it. You don't even get a warning, my
I
dog.
never get warnings, bro. I never get warnings. Never, bro.
A few warnings and everything.
Never.
Yeah.
That's why now I'm not cordial. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not cordial, right?
Right.
How you doing, sir? Yes, sir. License. Hey, I'm grabbing my license registration, nigga. Just let you know what I'm saying? Here you go, right? Mr. Williams, you gonna give me a ticket, bro? Yeah, because you write my ticket so we can get on, right? It don't take no half an hour to write no goddamn ticket. Right. I got places to be. That's why I was speeding, nigga. That's why I was speeding.
Right.
They know
Shit, all they gotta do now is point and click. Shit, that's it now.
Yeah.
Ain't no writing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
They
I'm sorry, JT. I'm telling you, like, minimize your interactions with them people. That's what people don't just like.
Yeah.
It's highway robbery and everybody knows it. They stop you, they there to make money. They ain't there to help you out. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe that shit. That's just something they might have to do, you know, to make it seem like they work for the public. No, they work for, well, they do work for the public. You know what I'm saying? But their job is to fleece you out of your money. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you don't get no charges you don't need, you know, no charges you can't afford to pay for. You know what I'm saying? And get on out of there. And like I said, most people, like, I didn't get like 6 tickets since I've been in Minnesota, and I only had to pay for one because I beat all of them because the cops never show up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So take your butt to court and fight the ticket. Hey, I want to speak to my accuser. They ain't never there because they think most people go and pay their tickets. Right? You get it dropped and you go home. But what do I know?
Because they have a quota. And to that, listen, when you drive and you get your license, don't be out there doing dumb shit that people be talking about. Yeah, man, let's hang out the window. Don't be doing that dumb shit. If you smoking, sit your ass back and lean, listen to some sit back music and be as quiet as you can until you get to your destination. Don't be doing dumb shit. And don't be driving with nobody that ain't put no gas in your tank.
Or get to your destination and then hit it.
Yeah, there you go.
The legal shit goes first.
They never show up. They never show up. And I had a judge one time try to take it. I was like, sir, you're not my accuser. Right? You're not my accuser. Where's the officer? Well, he's not here now, sir. You can't do that, sir. I like to have this case dismissed.
Yep. Yeah. Now y'all hear that? Basic law, folk. Basic law 101. Go represent yourself and get that shit dismissed, like the man said.
They count on people paying it. 99% of people pay their tickets.
Yep.
It was a lot of things. It was a lot of things I didn't know. Like I said, I agree with everything y'all saying, but it was a lot of shit that I didn't know.
You had to run in with the law. You sound real.
No, it's not that. I do like the First Amendment auditor videos though. Like the guy Long Island Audit and those guys, man. I'm against it press. Like these people show you they go. It's their whole job. They literally go traveling. They travel the whole state, like even informing police officers basically on shit that's not right and that they cannot do no more. And so like a lot of people thought that you couldn't record in federal buildings, but you can. Like as long as it's in a lobby and not in a place that is that is in a place that says no long as it's not in a place that says restricted area, you can record. And so a lot of people didn't know that. And I went to a post office afterwards, or I went to to get my daughter's permit. and we had to get her social security card and shit. And they was like, there was still a sign up, an old sign that said you can't record. And I was like, yo, what? I was like, yo, like I asked the security guard, I said, yo, is that still like valid? And he was like, no, we just keep it up so people don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that I knew that you could do it was the fact that he was like, yeah, I know you can do it in here though. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they would be out there and they wouldn't even have their phone out. And so I'm just saying, like, it's just a lot of things that the public don't be knowing when it comes to police interactions. And I feel like now with YouTube and the internet and the way that this shit is going, like a lot of people are becoming a lot more informed. And so, yeah, like a lot of these stops look way different now because people are actually watching those videos and they're actually seeing what police officers can and cannot get away with. Sometimes they get arrested, yes, and that shit results in a lawsuit after. Like the shit is dismissed, and then they get a lawsuit afterwards. And then guess who got to pay for that shit? Not that officer, the city, the state. They got to pay for that. So when they're coming out $750,000, $250,000, then now it's like, all right, we need to change some shit up. And so like that's why the whole body cam shit came up too. Like, so a lot of things change these days.
Yeah, Frank, even though, listen, you're right? All I know is that when I go across the crosswalk and I have the right of way and the car's coming at 100 miles an hour, I'm letting them go. I'm gonna wait. So even though I'm right, sometimes you don't have to exercise all the rights that you have. Just give the fucking guy your license and live to fight another day. That's it. That's all we need to tell people. I don't care if you're in the right of way. You know why? Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. Because you might know the law better than the cop.
Mm-hmm.
You might know the law better than the cop. And he's standing on some stupid shit and he didn't read a manual in 10 years. Right? So, you over here arguing your rights and you might be right, but chances are this guy might not know. He might not know. He might not know. He just think he has the right of way because he got a badge. So I can say, listen, if it's just something and the vibes is just saying, just give this guy my license and my registration. If you're clean and you ain't driving dirty, just get that shit over.
No, if you driving dirty, give the nigga, tell him you ain't got your license.
Yeah, okay, well, the same thing here.
I ain't got my license.
The whole note, just get past that. Just get past that.
Yes, minimize your contact with them. Yes. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, if you don't, you caught. It's it.
It's cat and mouse when you're in them streets.
Right. Remember that Pac-Man, how it used to sound when you get caught by the ghost? That's it. Game over.
Dirty, when you ride dirty, it's cat and mouse game anyway.
Yeah. That's why you have motherfuckers when they driving, they see them lights, them berries come on, they be like, damn. I ain't gonna make it to where I'm going. You can't, all that, I'm gonna put it, but I got it on record and I can just show you my ID. No, license and registration. We ain't about to have that. And that's what I'm saying. Even on her, because if it was a man and he was an officer and he been doing this shit, and especially he got an hour before he got to get off, I'm telling you, he about to go ahead and pack you up. He'll deal with that shit later. He about to hurry up, pack your ass up, put you in the paddy wagon because he about to get off. So he telling them, hey, I'm about to head to the precinct. You take him down to the jail for me. I'll write everything up before I get off. I'm heading to the whatchamacallit now. Now your ass sitting there, your car about to be towed. So now you got to deal with that because if you got a car left,
you ain't got no insurance.
If you got a car left,
they're going to get you with them toll fees, ain't they?
Man, they're going to get you with the toll fees.
Bust your head open.
And let it stay there for more than 2 days.
And you need your license and insurance to pick the
man.
Yes.
Done.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard that car towed
dirty game.
And it is in a lot. You can turn around and charge them for renting your car.
Don't
believe that.
I don't know how that
don't
is.
believe that.
I ain't never heard of that.
Don't believe that. Don't take that chance.
I
You
can't
can't do nothing.
I can't say that is one of them right there.
Understand?
Can't say I heard of that one, baby.
Understand what your car is. It's in an impound lot.
A police impound lot.
A police impound lot. And it's behind the hood. it's a fence right there.
I don't know about the police impound lot.
They say we got some new cars over there.
Hey, JT. Hey, they towed your car, then tell you they not responsible for it.
Right.
You're responsible for it.
You're not responsible for it.
Anything in this car.
It's gonna cost you $77 to $100 a day.
Hey, no.
Whatever you got in there, and it's a big old sign to tell you that we not. It's dirty.
Dirty game.
It's dirty.
Chicago, real quick. If they tow your car in Chicago, right? If you have suspended license and they tow your car, right? They will make you go to the other side of town. You have to pay $500, show your insurance and license to get your car. Then, if they impounded you on the south side, you had to go all the way.
You
back
in a different county?
Yeah, you're in the same county, but it's like
Chicago
20
do you
miles
dirty,
different.
boy.
Hold on, the tow truck. Hold on, before it get there, the tow truck, the hookup fee. What are we talking about? The hookup fee,
that's
transporting,
130.
and they charging you by the mileage.
Okay, so the moral of the story is just give the guy a license and just give the shit.
Minimize your contact with them.
Yeah, minimize your contact with them. That's it.
And don't drive dirty. If you ain't got no license, have your dumbass friend to drive for you. Come on, man.
In Detroit, they ain't got no license either. Shit.
One thing I learned getting this old is choose your battles wisely, my boy.
Yes. Hell yeah. You don't want to be in that system at all. Please believe it.
No, with no gray hair.
No, buddy.
All right, we'll go to the last video.
Okay.
I saw this. Let me make sure this is completely off.
Ooh, the juicy one.
Yeah. And I, the question that I have really is not even towards the actual couple, but we're going to listen to it and then we're going to get into the discussion part of it. Guys, if you're just joining, hit the like button, hit the dislike button. I see a couple of y'all in there that ain't agreeing with the conversation, but hey, we're all here, right? So do what you need to do, but hit one of them. Thank you. All right. Let's get this going.
Knew about my wife's affair and helped her cover it up. Last week, while my wife, 49 female, was taking a shower, I, 50 male, saw a notification pop up on her phone and went to open it thinking it was one of our daughters, Maddie, 24, and Alice, 26 female, confirming what time their girl's dinner was. Instead, I saw an unsaved number saying, "I can't wait to see you," and then a kissing emoji. I froze for a second. I clicked on the message and saw a short thread, mostly confirming dinner plans for that evening and how they missed each other, and once a week just wasn't enough. I knew what I saw. 29 years of marriage down the drain. Hoping to catch her in a lie before she left the house, I texted both of our daughters and asked them about the girls' dinner. What happened next broke me to my core. Both girls confirmed the dinner and said they were excited. I couldn't believe it. Not proud of what came next, I turned her location sharing on with me in her phone and let her leave. I followed her to the restaurant and lo and behold, neither daughter was there, but instead a man I knew was her boss. I was so heartbroken. Part of me was hoping I was just a paranoid freak and my daughters would be there happy to see me, but no, just my cheating wife and her AP. I took pictures of the two of them holding hands and kissing. I know I should have waited, but I couldn't help myself. I was so angry. As soon as I got in my car, I opened the group chat we had as a family, sent them all the photos and said, "Glad you're enjoying girls' dinner together." I then turned my phone off and drove to my brother's house and asked to stay the night. I woke up the next morning to over 40 texts and 20 voicemails. My wife went through the cheater's playbook of excuses. I didn't even listen to her voicemails. I was about to respond with, "I will be getting a divorce. I recommend a lawyer." But my brother stopped me. He told me to meet with a bunch of lawyers first and make sure she couldn't use them. Instead, I just sent the group chat a simple message. "I am physically fine, but need time. I will come home when I'm ready." I then muted my phone. I called different lawyers that looked to be the best in town that morning for appointments, met with all of them, and picked the one who looked ready to treat this as a scorched earth as possible. Finally, after spending all day with lawyers, I looked through the messages and both my daughters were apologizing. My youngest daughter, the daddy's girl of the two, was manic. She had texted me almost 50 times saying she never should have lied and hated it every time. Her boyfriend even reached out asking me to please reach out to her, that he didn't know what was going on, but she was on the verge of a panic attack. Maddie, I love you, but please understand that what you've done has hurt me deeply. I need you to give me space. I sent it and within seconds got it. Okay, I'm so sorry. I never should have helped. I'll never forgive myself. I love you too.
So, story about a wife cheating, but her daughters were in on it. And my question after watching this video, you know, adults go through their issues, right? They go through their problems. And earlier in the show, we were talking about how, you know, as children, you really don't know what's going on in your marriage if you're not conducting your affairs in a way where they would know what's going on with your marriage. Well, in this one, the kids were in on it. And I don't think that they were young. I think that they were older daughters.
23 and 26, I think.
Yes. So my question after watching it is, what do you think his daughters learned or should have learned in this situation? Because this is a part of life for them, real life for them. And I just couldn't imagine getting a picture of who knows if they even know what the guy looked like, but at this point they know what he looks like. And your dad saying to you, I hope you guys enjoyed dinner.
Well, just think about how diabolical it is that his wife would involve his daughters. I mean, I think, you know, I would now, first of all, I said, is there anything worse than your wife cheating on you? And now I just kind of found out here's something that's a rider on top of that. How can you possibly make cheats and lies out of your children? Now, the one of the things like that, because that's really diabolical shit right there, right? So here's another thing. If your wife cheats on you, you have to question the paternity of any kids you have. That's another thing. I mean, I don't care how old they are. I don't care where. If you find out your wife is cheated at any time, you have to question the paternity of the children you have.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean, it's not just the fact that she's, you know, breaking it down for somebody. It's all the ramifications of her lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. I mean, that's why, and listen, and people even try to act like for men that somehow we're supposed to find grace for it. I don't give a shit what the reason is. Unless I'm some kind of batterer or something like that, I don't deserve that kind of pain. Yeah. No man deserves that kind of pain. So I just think, and involving the kids, now, I don't know how he'll probably end up forgiving his daughters because they didn't really ask to be a part of it.
No.
But I mean, forgiveness in maybe after a certain time, but there's no way coming back for his wife. This is no way.
Depends on what type of man he is, because I don't think I could.
I wouldn't. I'm telling you.
Even the daughters too?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, none of them.
They dead to me.
Yeah, I'm cutting all of them off. I'm cutting them all off.
I'm dead serious. They're dead to me. They're dead to me. Because they proven that they proven the notion he's a utility, use him up. Yep. Even your own daughters use you to fuck up.
Yeah.
And the thing that, you know, I thought about both sides when I was listening to Rick said, you know, how could I even forgive them? Because they are adults. And I entrusted them with everything about me in my life. And they doing what they would hate a man to do to them. And the fact that mama coerced that shit, I would do like Ape said. Before I even saw him. They would have to go do the DNA without me.
Bro.
God damn it. I ain't showing her. You're going to do that shit without me.
Bro.
But then, you don't come to, hey, look, all my documentation would be changed immediately. I give that shit to my dogs and cats before I leave it.
Y'all don't understand the type of stuff a man gotta put up with.
Right.
Y'all really don't. Like, don't y'all understand? Look, the level of disrespect that is. If that was a man on the street, I'd end him.
Yeah, man, ain't no telling what we'll do because we're gonna be men.
I would end him, right? And this is the part that bothered me, right? Y'all think the daughters learned that from their daddy?
Right. They got the shit from their mamas.
Right.
Just like
we gotta acknowledge what is, man. The truth of the matter is it doesn't matter how much a father is in the home. The mother has a certain connection with the children.
That's right.
That's why y'all are mothers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, in these type of scenarios, it's up to him to show restraint.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to him to react correctly, right? It's up to him. Like I said, in a relationship, whose fault is it, Precious?
He saw her out kissing the man.
You see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all what it is, right?
Man.
We keep asking men to be responsible for stuff that's not their fault, right? And we acknowledge that, but at the same time, no one is encouraging these women to be better. They're okay with them being just who they are and being messed up as people because the man's going to be held responsible for it. It's not his fault, but he's going to be held responsible for it. Right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, if he would have unalived everybody at that table,
he'd be a villain.
Yeah, he'll be the villain, and the societal. To your point that you were saying, Rick, it's societal, and society needs to change a lot of this because there is no, I guess there's no accountability is too light of a word.
Right.
There's no consequences for this behavior. And that was just like somebody mentioned it earlier, diabolical. That's like worse than setting somebody up to, all of these people that they talk about go in and do mass shootings. That's the same. It's along the same premise in order to do something that despicable.
I got another one for you. Any of those daughters who have a boyfriend?
The one did. That was actually my next question. Like, how do you know her boyfriend looks at her? The youngest one, boyfriend, texts the father and said, "Hey, can you reach out to your daughter because something's going on with her?" He said, "I don't know what it is."
No, but she playing him too. The daughter's playing him too. If he don't know what it is, that's crazy.
Right. Because if she was keeping it G and she was really sorry, she'd have told her boyfriend, right, what was popping.
Right. But I will say this. In fairness, I agree with y'all. It doesn't. They're responsible for their decisions, but that mother has been doing that for a long time.
I don't disagree, but that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. We keep trying to take away the cause. We keep trying to separate and act like the causes and effects don't correlate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had I'm just gonna keep it funky with y'all, right? We had these women, right, that we're being taught that we're the villains of, right?
Yeah.
The reason why you left her is because you wasn't strong enough. Blah, y'all know the stories, right?
Yeah,
right?
Shit.
Right. But even in this case, right, we sit up there and again, we say, okay, if a man's in the house, these things are going to turn out better. I say bullshit, right? I say because the mother is the major for the children, right? For the children, this is y'all importance as women, the children in a household. If a household is being run correctly, it looks like the woman is the center of the household. If a house is ran correctly, right? That means you don't see me and her conversations. You don't see what me and her talk about. I do what I got to do. She does what she got to do. I give her instructions. Boom, she go off, right? And she stand out in the limelight and everybody happy, right? Let's say what it is. Right? Tupac gave y'all a song. Deal, even though you was a crack fiend, mama.
You always was a black queen.
Why do we keep trying to disassociate the thing that's causing our community its very downfall? The children. Children grow up to become adults, people. Y'all wonder where the value system comes from. It comes from the women. They don't listen.
Nope.
They don't listen. I don't care what y'all. Women that they get scooped. Wives get scooped. Y'all understand that, right? No matter what they look like. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. No matter what they look like, fat, skinny, built like a bag of bricks, beautiful, it doesn't matter. A wife gets married. This is their job, and they fail at it, and then they try to make it about us. This is the first step that has to be done for the Black community to get anywhere, is the correction of the generational teachings that's passed from mother to child, from mother to child. I keep having this argument. I don't get the decenter men crap, because when have Black men been the center of anything in our community? Besides ridicule and blame. This one not on us. I promise y'all the God's green earth. If he took me today, I'm telling, this is not, I analyze this shit a million times in my head. This one ain't on us. That's why I don't give them no slack on it. The women in my area, when I hear them, hey, what you doing? Come here, let me holler at you. Right? This is them. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Incrementally, Black men have gotten better from 1970 to this, exponentially. These boys is out here raising their kids. Y'all know that, right?
I saw a video of a kid who had a baby, but he has so much for the baby, 3 boxes of diapers, wipes, clothes, everything. He was on a skateboard. I don't know if it was motorized or what, but he was getting that stuff to the baby. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
We got to be honest about the conversation. That's all I'm saying, y'all. We got to stop this. If we don't know where to assign blame, it'll never get fixed.
I think, a huge reason why women act the way that they do is because the women can do more than they did in the past, right? And they've developed this, well, I got it now type of attitude. When women couldn't work, when women, didn't have the income that they have coming in now, they had a different heart posture. They had a different concern and care for the person that they married. And of course, it probably wasn't perfect. No relationship is, but it was a different, it was more of a servant heart, posture. And I think when women hear those type of words, servant, submission, submit, when they hear those type of words, they feel as though they're being kicked or punched back into a time where women just couldn't do anything, not realizing that women in that time really used the priceless things to, keep a man, the priceless things to dwell with that man. And now women just thinks it's the money is what makes them this woman, and they don't have that, again, that servant heart posture and actually loving the man that they marry. And I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying some. There are a lot of women who would rather make the money than be with the man, but they'll settle and be with the man, but their escape is the money. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I'll put this away in case it doesn't work, or I'll get a little bit of his money because it's my money anyway because we're married. But it never really was about the person or the purpose or anything like that. It's more so of, oh, well, I'm not single, I don't have that title, I'm not alone, I'm not lonely. You know, it's not really that heart posture that says, I don't have to, you know, make money, or I don't have to have a certain status in order to be a woman that is seen, heard, you know, acknowledged. I can just be a wife and that be okay, that be my portion. But women today just feel like they have to grab from everywhere, and the last person that is actually getting their care, their concern, you know, their thoughtfulness, their consideration is the person that they said that they, you know, want to be with forever.
Yeah, it's it's not gonna get any better until literally this thing tears down. It's over with. The way that people look at how marriage is supposed to be has been failing for decades now. And the thing is that what's going to change it is the attitude of the man.
Yeah, it's already changing.
Yeah, it's there, but this is the thing. When every time you have these young men and they're trying to find the concept of getting married, like think about even with the OGs, we're not sitting there telling a man just to jump his ass into marriage now.
I can't tell him that.
You can't tell him that anymore.
That's being dishonest.
Yeah. So that's why when you have, and look, thank God for these panels that we have where you can actually have real conversations about this. And please believe me, there are millions of people that are talking on these panels now. We ain't never had a time where we had this going now. So when you got these young men that's sitting back and they're hearing the horror stories, they like, I'm not about to take these women serious, right? They ain't got the answer yet, but trust me, they're not, it's going to be terrible.
Yep.
We were just talking about that on, I think on BMU's channel where we were just talking about, and I was telling them about the opposite of the baby boomers. We're in the era of the baby bashers. They're not even trying to have babies. And the ones that are, they're getting rid of them, right? They're getting rid of them now. This is the first time in decades where you have not had this many people, you know, exchanging out. People die, people come in. It's not happening like that no more. So it's kind of like evening out the whole baby boomer thing. The reason why you had baby boomers was because you had the generations before then, you know, when we had all those different wars, right? I mean, Americans was being wiped out. They were being wiped out. So it was that's why you had the whole huge family thing and the marriage and how to do certain things. But also at the same time, you had women taking on men's jobs. But then they overcorrected that because now you got this whole thing of independence. You had before then, you had what was that lady that was with the little bandana on her head and the whole thing with the strength thing and moving them there.
I know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so they built. Yeah,
it was where a lot of women was that for Halloween. Actually, I remember.
Yeah, strong and independence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they built off of that. Now look what we have. We got the damn former first lady talking about independence, black girl magic, pushing this shit.
Dumb shit.
Right? And all these other women that's doing it. I would never talk about, I don't even have to put Oprah in that. Oprah was a one-off. Now you got everybody thinking they can be Oprah. You got everybody thinking now you got all these women thinking that they can be Diana Ross's daughter now. Tracy Ellis Ross, 51 years old, no kids, never been married, talking about dating young men, right? All they're doing is dooming these women.
Yeah.
At the same time, look what we have now. A bunch of women in the United States being homeless. And guess what they still got with them living in a car in parking lots? Children.
Mm.
You got the other ones that's sitting here and they drinking. I know y'all saw that one. outside of the Planned Parenthood. Look at the message they sitting.
Saw that video
Fuck that child. Drinking.
today.
You know what social media is doing, especially YouTube in a sense? YouTube is giving men a message of we gonna do better, and we see what the women are doing now. And the crazy part is these young brothers, they go give y'all young women just what y'all want. A transaction. They go come through with they 50, they 100, because they got it, because they ain't got no debt. They ain't ran it, they might pay the car payment, their little apartment, and they go run through y'all. And now, brothers, I say this, treat your seed like gold now. Make them pay you for your seed. Other than that, get you a bag of natural. I mean, just do it healthy, brothers. Do it healthy. And towards the end of the month, everybody broke. You can come through with your little 200 that you done saved all month and find 3 of them, they going.
So gotta keep that cell bill, that cell phone going.
Just a part of your expense. Hey, listen, so this is what I just put out is just of course, you know me and my thing. This is a chorus in one of my songs. This is the dark side of Black Girl Magic. Born from lies and ashes, leaving life so tragic. With every passing year, she neglects her sons, leaving him unprepared for the world. He's the forgotten one. That is, you know, the downside of Black Girl Magic. I mean, I've seen some videos on that and how negative it is. And these videos were by women.
Yeah.
You know, I did a live on that. I said you know, and then I have a list of 15 Black women who succeeded at the highest levels, and each one of them fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how to wield the power. Each one of them, we know them. Yeah. You know, from Tiffany Henry to Marilyn Mosby. I mean, just go down. And now Letitia James, she might go down for some big shit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, what's the matter with y'all, man? You know, so all the great shit that you do, and they're all liberals. They're all liberals. I don't want to say the political party. They're all liberals.
They love power, but they don't know how to wield it.
That's right.
At all.
Yeah, we weren't. I don't believe that we were created for that. I truly don't. There is literally a head for a reason. Like it's there for a reason, and we can't act like it's not. We can't say we don't need it. We can't say, oh, I can do this by myself. It will never work because that's not the design. It's just not the design. You know, there are certain cars where, you know, a Tesla is not the design of the Nissan or the Ford. Like it's not the way you fix the Tesla is not going to be the same way that you fix, you know, the Nissan. They have 2 different designs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when women, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, women can't make their money. We have to make a money. We have to make money. We have to make a living. Yeah. But, you know, doing it with someone is not a woman's strong point, because it becomes a competition at some point. It becomes scrutiny at some point. And if we just be the helper, we wouldn't have to worry about, think about, stress about, lose weight and sleep and not eat. We wouldn't have to do those things if we operated at the level that God designed us to operate. I mean, it's simple. It's very simple, very, very simple. I thank God I had the mother that I have, because she doesn't try to outshine my dad. If my dad says, no, Shelly, no, like, you know, that's what it is. And it's not that she's cowering or she's, you know, not her own person or anything of that nature, but there are just things that he sees and knows, and that she's not thinking on that level because she don't have to, because she has him. Like, you know,
Yep.
And I'm not saying that my mom's a weak woman by any means, but what she is a humble woman. She understands the order, and so she operates in that order. And a lot of women can't operate in that order because maybe they've never seen it, maybe it feels foreign to them. But at the same time, it needs to be something that is practiced. It needs to be something that is taught. Some, you know, there are women out here who teach women how to be safe. It needs to be something that is promoted over going to the child deletion clinic and with a bottle of rum in your hand and saying, oh, F them kids. You know, that is what needs to be pushed. Being, you know, the person who is a helper to the person who was created to be over the household. And I think that women have a true issue and problem with that. So much so to the point where they can be married for so long and then say, oh, well, I want to make a decision for myself now.
Yeah.
It's like,
it plateaus.
Whoa, when we get on, like, how do we, you know, it's that endurance. Women don't have endurance like men have endurance. Men can endure. Women, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Wow. Whew, that was a hard one right there. That was a deep one right there. That last video that you showed right there. That one
That's
hit
tough,
home.
man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. And I was like, I want to bring it to the platform because you hear about cheating partners all the time, right? But you don't necessarily hear about the children that these people have created together, raised together.
You got enemies on each side of him, bro. That's crazy.
And
You can't trust nobody, bro.
They're intertwined into a lie. You know, neither one of my parents have ever told me to lie to either one of them.
That's great.
Right? Like, you know, it just wasn't a thing because they're a team, you know, so it wasn't, that video was different. That video was really different. And I hope, you know, if anyone is going through anything like that or have been involved with anything like that,
man, I'm praying for you. That's what I'm doing.
But yeah, she didn't even say that they told the kids to lie. She trained the kids to lie.
Ooh.
That's even worse.
Exactly, bro.
Yep. Conditioned them to that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's who, like I said, who
things aren't caught. They're caught, right? Like I say that all the time. And I got that from my pastor.
That ain't the first time they lied for her.
Yeah, diabolical, man.
Yeah, it's been lied for years.
Both of them. That's crazy.
Damn. Yeah, DNA test, bro. DNA test.
Just think about the disrespect that they have to have on a daily basis for their father.
Bro.
But again, it's societal. The disrespect that society has for men.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, that's the external, but internally, can you imagine you waking up every day, you sitting down with your family, you looking at them, they looking at you,
right?
And they
taking
a secret. I mean, it's some diabolical shit.
Yeah, that shit diabolical, bro.
It goes on. The reason why I say that is because it goes on so regularly, but people just don't speak about it. They don't do anything they see it. We all have seen and heard about things like this. That's why it's such a sensitive topic.
Yeah. That one right there, because the thing is also is I can just imagine what's going on in his head, just like what you guys was just saying. What else was you guys lying to me about? How many times was this shit been? How many years has this shit been going on, right?
Well, they might not even be his kids.
Hey, you still ain't gonna believe that shit.
Coach already said it. Hey, look, we got to go ahead and get this doggone blood test.
Ain't no talking at this point. There's no talking. There's nothing to talk about.
Like, I know the type of person I am. I don't want to hear shit. I don't need that. I'm not gonna waste time listening to your lies.
That's it.
It's just what it is. I don't want to listen to your lies because now you playing me as a fool. So at the end of the day, that whole thing of us talking and shit like that ain't nothing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing to talk about. And I'm damn sure, like my man said, his homeboy said, no, don't tell her what you getting ready to do. No.
Good advice right there.
You just say that you come home when you feel like coming home. You don't say nothing about what you about to do. You go ahead and make your plan because you got to get the hell on.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
gotta go.
I wouldn't told her that I knew.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told her that I knew.
It had just been
I'm
gone.
gonna keep it a
No,
buck
it
with
gotta
you.
happen quick. It gotta happen. It has to
I
happen.
wouldn't tell her.
I'm gonna be
right,
honest with
Unc.
you.
Just move out.
I'm a slow burn you.
Yeah.
Oh
Slow
God.
burn you. I
That-
told her.
it has to.
Hey, what I
Precious.
Precious. Don't make me do this.
I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying in general, man, woman, whoever. Like, you
I'm a
know,
slow burn.
we're embarking on Easter, right? And when Judas betrayed Jesus, he was like, whatever you gotta do it quick. Like, don't be around here lingering.
I'm not Jesus, baby. I'm not.
Right. We fall way short of that.
I'm a slow burner. Ugh.
You know, because at the end of the day, like, two wrongs don't make it right. And I'm not saying that
It's gonna be wrong.
is the wrong thing. That's how you handle your business. That's how you handle your business. But dragging it out now puts a burden on you a little bit.
Not really, because the burden is already on you. So we at war now. It's a different. You don't get a chance. You don't have the privilege to tell me how the consequences is going to go.
The games begin.
These consequences, you about to learn this shit. It's about to be terrible for you.
I'm telling you. This is me though. I wouldn't recommend it.
If we can't be,
I wouldn't recommend it.
Warring with you, like, you know what I mean. Like, that's why I say it gotta happen. If we can't be a team, like,
I wouldn't recommend what I would do.
At this point, we're strangers. Like,
Precious, they years in. I can see if someone like you get married and do out there silly in the first year, yeah, go on, cut that. But they years in. He's invested.
You turned the family against me.
Can you play it one more time? Play it again.
This one got a slow burn. I'm sorry.
You taught our daughters to be dialogue.
That's all the more reason why it would have to happen quick, because it's
taught our
too much time invested.
His brother gave him the best.
You taught our daughters to be diabolical bitches.
She said that, Malik. She said that to that dude. She seen him kissing her friend at the club.
Look, listen to what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is, if it's a discretion, and gone. You see what I'm saying? I caught you. It's what it is, right? You see what I'm saying? Hey, we gonna figure out how to dissolve this. You go your way, I go mine. You and hey, cool, no problem. But you got my daughters lying to me.
Yeah, that's the shit right there. That's the pain right there.
Yeah, because it's one thing if you, like, you know what I mean, like, okay, we done, but it's like, dang, how do you even have that conversation with your children? See, this
ain't no conversation.
Yeah, like I told you, I wouldn't told them.
You don't. You show by example.
I wouldn't have told them.
You don't even.
You're
going to work.
You are too D to win.
Yeah, it's going in and out.
I mean, it's okay. Let's look.
We're at the age where they are, you know, either exploring relationships. One is in a relationship, right? So a lot of times, this is the human side of your parent. A lot of parents, when they raise their kids, they're not necessarily real with their kids. Like, even my parents, like, there are a lot of things I didn't learn about my parents until I was a lot older.
You weren't supposed to, though.
Right. You're absolutely right. Right. But they're older. Like, you know what I mean? So this not telling them and not letting them know that you know
is what?
Is that going to give you peace, not telling them?
I'll get peace when it's done. I'll get peace when the work is done.
Yeah.
Right, but the work is going to be done on a slow burn, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's in control of that, though. He's lighting the fuse. He know exactly what he's doing. She don't know shit.
But why is this a control thing? She turned your
it's not a control thing. It's a revenge thing at this point.
Revenge.
Not a control thing.
Again, if we can't be team players, we not gonna be any players. Like,
but she's not a team player.
Yeah, but she's not a team player though. Precious, she did some of the most diabolical thing ever. Not only did she have another man, a strange ass man in our relationship, then she turned our kids against me. That's the most diabolical thing that you can do. And at the end of the day, you did it to a man. You better understand that you have a man. That nigga is a pit bull, an alligator. He's a panther. He's all these things. And if you bring it out of him, that's on you.
No, I was supposed to man up and be smooth, right? I was supposed to be the bigger man and move past it, right? And move on.
That ain't how they work.
Is that what it's supposed to be? I'm asking, right? Was I supposed to be the big?
Why is it so hard for people? Not even just
Come
men,
on, Preston. If you went to dinner, he done already clapped them cheeks. You got
in
kids
general.
lying.
No, because that's how I am. Y'all might not believe it, but
No,
I believe everything you tell me.
We got to take you out of it, Precious. You got to
I
take
believe
you out.
everything you tell me.
The thing is, why aren't people why do you feel like you need to get revenge? What is that going to do for you?
It's gonna make me feel better.
like she was feeling better.
Yeah.
Make me feel good. It's gonna make me feel good.
She don't get it. You don't get a chance to pick your consequences. You get that, man, because listen, we all do every one of us, if it happened to us, we'll handle it a different way. But one thing I can tell you, we're not going to sit back and try to be diplomatic about this shit. That ain't how this shit go. That diplomatic shit is over with.
Shit is over with.
They're all gloves. And listen to what I'm saying, Precious. I'm saying, again, if a woman wants to choose another man, choose up, choose down, that's cool. Right. You got my daughters lying to me for some shit you doing.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You're gonna go to her level.
I'm gonna go under hell.
Lower.
I'm gonna go under hell because
it's human.
Because her and my daughters need to get taught a real lesson.
Yeah.
They need to get taught a lesson. Yes. Because listen to what I'm saying, right? Listen to what I'm saying, right? Her as a woman, right? Her as a woman, she came to the conclusion that she don't. I ain't gonna even say she don't want to be in it because that's a lie, right? She could want exactly what she have with dude, right? And exactly what she got with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I completely understand. Somebody says she's refusing to see it on purpose. Believe me, I'm not refusing to see it. I understand these guys. We spend every week together.
Right? Yeah. So again, but and y'all give me a second and watch how I tie this all in. And my shit is circular. Why? Because it's true. Right? Mm-hmm. So she made that conscious decision, and I got no problem with that. People do what they do. Players fuck up. Ain't that what I tell y'all every other week? Players fuck up. Players fuck up. This shit happens, right? At that point, I can make a choice, right? And then it's okay for me to separate from you, and we do the separate lives. You go do you, and our kids are our kids. They grown, right? They grown. But you get that relationship. We no longer together. We no house. The people get used to it, but it's uncomfortable, right? Let's say what it is, right? The separate parenting thing, right? So now I can't even get that, right? Listen to what I'm saying. You expect me to be bigger than what you was in this situation.
That's what you came in as, the bigger person, literally.
No, keep it right there. Keep it right there. So what you saying, right? So what you saying is what? That men have a bigger responsibility in this thing, right? That there's a hierarchy that needs to be addressed, correct? Right? So again, what's this question with women's equality then if there's a hierarchy? You do what the fuck I tell you to do. Listen to what I'm saying. Hold on, right? Mm-hmm. If I gotta be the bigger person, listen to what I'm saying. If I gotta be the bigger person, when you change your mind, you want to get froggy, you want to do goofy shit, right? I gotta take care of my kids, right? Even if you gone, you in another house with another man, right? Right? Right?
Yeah.
I gotta be the moral leader, right? Right? I gotta be responsible for everything, and it's your fault. And I can't tell you what to do.
Shit.
When I say jump, you better ask how high. When I say rice, you better ask fried. You want sugar in your rice or salt and pepper, right? But is that the understanding? Is that the understanding of the majority of women?
No,
it's not. No, it's not.
So if I can, so what am I, right? What am I? What am I? If I'm always taking responsibility for you with no benefit to me.
Well, no, it's not that. My thing is, if you feel like you can't deal and it's the betrayal and things of that nature, then cut it off. Like as a man,
couldn't she left?
Right, but just like our pain said.
So again, this y'all, you expect me to be better than you, correct?
No, I expect you to make a decision that's going to be the decision for you. If this is no longer what you, if this is not something that you can deal with, and things of that nature,
that's fine. That's why didn't you make that same decision then?
But it's not about the tit for tat though. Like
at this point, yes, it is. Yes, it is. At this point, yes, it is.
All gloves are off.
Yes, it is.
You breached contract. You breached the contract.
Then look, I just don't do. If the contract is breached, then we need to rip the contract up. Like,
now this is the thing, but it's going to cost him. It's going to cost
pencil or red pen over this, and this. If it can't be mended, if it can't be
good girls do it too. I'm gonna say it again, fellas. Girls do it too.
I just don't believe in dragging anything out. As a man, if you can't deal with it.
So what consequences do you believe in? What consequences do you believe in?
Him leaving. That's the consequence.
She's not going to be covered. That woman is not.
Covering
anywhere.
Nah. They've invested too much. They got too much invested though. Precious.
What?
Okay,
the only power.
Don't start over as a man because you have too much time. And
the only power they say we have is to leave them. That's it. To leave them alone.
That is power. Y'all, do you know how much power that is?
That's why the cycle continues.
Not in this situation.
See, in that situation, this is why I keep saying you don't get to pick this shit. So this is the thing. When you're talking about him being a better person, he's still a better person. The only thing he's doing
to what you did.
Right. He ain't sitting there talking about trying to take your life and beat your ass and nothing like that. But I'm not about to. You don't deserve the reason why.
The man in the video is doing it the way that I would expect a man to do it. Let me get on a phone with these lawyers. Let me see what lawyer can help me in my case and turn it out in the best in my favor because I have all the proof. And let me go on with my life.
You will. You go on with your life.
Why drag something out as a man? Okay, you wasted all this time or whatever happened in the relationship. But you're a man.
I think
what you want.
We live by a different standard, guys.
Yeah. But Precious, here's the thing though. Let's just say, right, because everything you said about that, I think that was great advice, fellas. If your wife good out there, you lock up, well, go talk to every lawyer within that vicinity, jurisdiction that you know that she might want to call, then you're going to win that favor. However, from the time that I start that procedure to the time that divorce, you might see me one time.
And that's fine. I mean,
but everything is going to be in my favor. You get nothing.
But that's
I don't agree.
What the consequence is.
That ain't gonna be talking to you.
She has to face that consequence. But why face
that ain't no consequence
of you? That is.
I ain't gonna talk to you.
How is it a consequence when she already got a new nigga?
Right.
Why do y'all think the new nigga is the prize? Well, I don't understand what's going on here.
Well, she just
evidently he's surprised. He's surprised. He's taking her out to lunch and
she going out to dinner with him and shit.
Yeah.
You being seen out on the town with him? seem like none chose him.
Are y'all
Yes.
serious?
No, that wasn't the first time. That's
No, I
something that.
can't. No.
So wait, Precious, you have a daughter, right?
acting like
You have a daughter, right? You have a
Precious is
daughter.
swinging,
Let's
boy.
just
She is
say
swinging.
your daughter, right?
I'll be right back, y'all.
She and I'm just using this so you can maybe get a better feel. Your daughter is now 26 years old.
Okay.
Your husband has made your daughter lie to you for all of these years. You don't know how long. You find out she's staying with the new girl. You're still happily married in your mind, but your daughter knows that your husband or her father is out there with someone else. Nah, that's not a good enough example. Let me give you a better example. Your
Come on,
husband,
bring it, Sean. Come with it.
your husband takes your daughter from you, right?
Okay.
And says that you and made everybody believe you were a horrible mother. That's how he was able to take her. But you wasn't. You was a great mother. But he lied. He had the daughter lie. He had your daughter lie. And finally, at age 26, the truth comes out. You were telling the truth. What do you want done to your husband?
What do I want done to him? Nothing.
Yeah. So basically, he took your daughter away at a young age, made everybody think you crazy, lied on you, had your daughter lie on you,
Can't just take
and 26 years later, you find out that, or they find out that you were telling the truth, and the only thing you can do now is get a divorce. Is that justifiable for you?
I don't know. You probably should have continued to go with the first example. I don't know how.
I just want the lying and deception that was done against you for you to understand how deep that actually is. And so they took your daughter. You are a saint. You're the mother that you are today, and your daughter father came in and said, "Precious ain't nothing. She doing all this. She ain't paying attention to our daughter. She's paying attention to her podcast. She's the most horrible person in the world, and everybody believes it. And take your daughter away, and you fighting for years, and then all of a sudden, your daughter's grown through school.
I don't know. I would keep fighting and keep it moving. I don't like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't care about what other people have to say about me. It doesn't move me. It really doesn't. It doesn't move me. And you know, with the wife lying and the daughters being in on it, right? He could separate from the wife, right? He could even potentially separate from the daughters if that's what he chooses to do, right? If those are his flesh and blood and things of that nature. Things happen in life to really, you know, have us really take a look on the inside, right? And there's nothing that he could have done differently that would have changed this woman, his wife's mind about cheating on him or not, because she made that decision. But the decision that he has to make is these are my daughters. So do I go on the rest of my life without ever speaking to my daughters again? Yes, their mother betrayed me. Their mother had them in on the lie. I caught them in a lie. There's a lot of times parents have caught their children in a lie. Did they stop talking to them? No. Now this lie is a huge lie. Could be a marriage breaking lie, right? But again, what do you think his daughters learned or should have learned from this experience? Because again, my focus is not on the wife. She made a decision that costed her covering, There's a lot of women who make decisions that cost them their covering. And y'all are saying that that's not a big enough consequence. But the last time I looked, these streets ain't nothing in these streets. So to me, it's a huge consequence.
You said the mother betrayed, but the daughters betrayed them too.
Right. So my question is, what do you think his daughters learned or should have learned in this situation? Because they're not going to stop being his daughters. Again, he could make the decision to never talk to them in his life. But this can also be a turning point in his relationship with his daughters. And it's not going to be a good turn at first because hurt, right? This man is hurt. He is feeling the emotions. But what should his daughters have learned in this situation?
That would be something that they would have to answer. That's not something that we can really answer because they could be so far gone. They knew what they were doing was wrong. That's why it's a difficult thing. That's why I was so extreme in the trying to make a point that's very extreme because at this point, it's over. Divorce don't even really matter. The kids are out the house. All of that doesn't even matter. It's deeper than the actual cheating. It's the deception that has been going on for years. It's deeper than just cheating. Cheating, man, we all could get over that.
But you chose the wife. The wife chose you. I'm not saying
no, we didn't choose the deception.
Right, you chose the human, right? And humans are imperfect, and humans can deceive you.
But that wasn't imperfect, though. That was somebody being conniving because it's another thing that you didn't mention, though, Precious. She also cost her children the relationship with their father.
But okay, stay right there. That's what I'm talking about, right? You choose the person that you marry, but you don't choose the children. Okay, so did she cost them a relationship with their father, or will their father choose to not have a relationship?
No. She cost that relationship because she involved them into her deception. She cost them their relationship with their father. Anybody that thinks logical is going to say, you dirty as fuck for that shit. Because if you did it yourself, it's one thing. But you took the family and you made them conspire against the father.
Okay, so I have this thing, and I've said this to y'all before.
They thought that shit out.
They have moms have it.
Right. So think about it. It's easy. It's easy to understand it from this point. If somebody got murdered and you're there, you are an accessory to that murder. You're going to jail. You might not do as much stuff, but you're going because you didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they conspired to doing this. That shit probably took weeks to plan.
Years. Over. I mean, they've been doing it for years.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell them that we gonna have a girls' night out with each other. That shit takes planning.
That's been something going on for years. But Precious, to your question though, I don't think we could see the effects. It's going to be sometime because it's going to be a ripple effect.
Yeah,
I don't think the daughters see it at all because now they are not covered by their father.
I don't.
And that karma's a beast though. So I think it's not going to hurt him as bad. His feelings going to be hurt. He may get in the headspace where he probably definitely won't trust another woman. But I don't see him having a relationship with them. Ain't no daddy, I need 200 because I'm short no more. You don't get none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he take it like really bad, like because after the pain, it comes to anger. After that, after the pain comes to anger. So he like, fuck that shit. Ain't nobody getting shit.
Well, the reason why things like this happen is because there are no consequences that are that detrimental for these behaviors. That's why I keep on emphasizing there need to be better consequences.
Okay, so
can I ask a question though? After this guy gets free from his lady, right, and children, what's the first thing should he do? What's the first thing he should do?
Here we go.
I'm just asking. I'm just why I just put it out there as a question. You go lay on the couch and say to her, oh man, they tell me
Go get some ass. Go get him some ass.
I'm just asking.
I don't, like I said, I don't even look at. I look at it past that, right? I look at the lessons, right? But his daughters was grown women. They could have made a decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My relationship with your mama, like, we are supposed to have a relationship. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, we keep excusing, like, it doesn't matter if a father, he can give his all, right? The mother usually has the strongest influence over the children, usually. Right? That's just the facts of the matter. I really wish people to stop trying to dismiss that, right? But and I hear what you're saying, Precious, but I'm telling you what I would do. I wouldn't recommend nobody do it. You got to have a certain skill to be able to cut your emotions off. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't recommend nobody, but I'm saying if that was done to me, I'm going scorched earth. I'm gonna play like it didn't even happen. You're gonna come home and the house gonna be empty. The house gonna be empty. I'm taking your clothes too, your drawers, everything.
He probably bought half that shit.
I'm taking everything.
With the divorce papers on the counter.
It's not no call and let so y'all can devise and scheme and call each other. That's
nah, ain't none of that. No talking.
Not happening. No.
Like Birdman said, ain't no more talk. Ain't no more talk. And I'm talking to all three of y'all.
It's gonna hit you the way it hit me. It's gonna be a surprise.
Yes, it's gonna be a surprise.
You're gonna come home and the door's gonna be locked. There's gonna be a soul sign out front. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I can't say that I don't agree with that. It's just, a wife can definitely mess up a covering. But children, can they just as well mess up a covering? You know what I mean?
Yes.
You could take the covering off of the person that you chose.
Absolutely.
Can you really?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
Catch up, Nick.
I'm not expecting this to be a conversation because I do understand that, like y'all are saying, a mother's influence is different from a father's, and it would be easier for a father to walk away from a child than a mother. And I'm not saying, I'm just stating the facts. It would be easier for emotionally, psychologically, all of that, for a man to walk away than it would for a woman to walk away. So your answer.
Why do you say that?
You are logically correct. Huh?
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because men walk away from their children easily.
And so did this woman. She walked away from her child with her despicable lie. But ain't nobody saying that.
You can say that.
Very easily. She did that. Yeah. Involving her children was walking away.
You're breaking up, John.
Is it that way? Because she didn't do the.
Yeah.
You could definitely.
F them kids is what they do, not what they say. When it comes to the children, F them kids is what women do. Did she put? It's just all bad.
Crazy.
Older me, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I see it out. But 26, 28-year-old me, 30-year-old me, man, that, I don't know. In that moment, seeing that shit, you done slob the nigga down. I've been trying to get a kiss all week. Come on, man.
That's why you just need to leave, because ain't nothing to be said. What? What say?
I know a young dude to crash out.
What could she say? That's why you pack up your stuff.
That whole restaurant might have been.
There are no words.
Rubbing on your
it depends on. Now I gotta say, it depends on what era you got JT in, because the younger JT would have tore that whole fucking restaurant up, and that wouldn't have been the right move. Now I got to go to jail and shit like that, because either that or you're going to kill me. Now the older me is exactly like what Rick is saying. I'm cutting all communication off. That's it. The water is not running anymore. I'm shutting it all the way down. When you
Oh.
Did he freeze?
Yes, man.
Okay.
I got 5 minutes left, y'all. I got to get to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say we so do I have to get up early. Let's kind of flow into the final thoughts.
Yeah.
Out there.
We good. That was my internet. Yep.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the JT's perspective here, we're gonna phase into final thoughts.
But just given like what we're talking about right now, it'll be very uncomfortable for her, and I don't care how she sleeps. That's the difference. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm not holding in consideration. That's what Rick is saying. It's over with. That part is over with.
Them little lies is about to stop.
Yeah.
The little lies that keep you comfortable is about to stop.
Yeah,
over with. What you looking at?
Right.
Yep.
Why you here?
It brings it back full circle. What we were saying.
So
in the relationship,
from saying those things,
them little lies gonna stop you, man. Speak on it, Rick. For real.
Why are you here? Could you do this for me? No. Could you do this for me? No.
Hey,
unadulterated.
I'm coming in with my little 6-piece, my little snack meals. That's all I ain't eating none of that shit over.
Everything is a nah. You hungry? Nope. Yep. I'm good.
Yep.
Something wrong with you? Nope. I'm good.
I don't even know how y'all would be able to coexist.
It's gonna be uncomfortable for her.
I'm good. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about me.
Day. But
don't worry about me. You ain't worried about me. You ain't worried. Yes, I know you not. Stop lying. You ain't worried about me. You ain't worried about me. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
All of that.
Because the one thing we ain't gonna never do is delete them
feelings all day.
Pictures out of that phone. That shit ain't gonna never come about.
I'm gonna make it my job to hurt your feelings
till the divorce is over.
I'm gonna make it my job to hurt your fucking feelings. Don't drink my milk. Go to the store and get your own milk.
The refrigerator has names on the food, different food.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay,
drink my apple juice.
Hey, Jay, come home from work and there's people in the house walking around with brochures and shit. What's this? Oh, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Open house.
Here this evening. I really appreciate you. It has been a great show, a great live. We're gonna get into our final thoughts and then we're gonna get up out of here. Okay?
Word.
It's on you.
All right, so
This boy, if he don't catch up, bro.
Hey, JT.
I can hear y'all. But
go ahead, Sean. JT froze. Go ahead, Sean. JT froze. Go ahead.
Am I back?
Yeah,
you never miss your water till your well. You never miss your water till your well runs dry. Dry that well. That's my final thought. Because I'm feeling centered from that last subject.
That did
it.
Okay, so hey, listen,
that's
great conversation, man. This was dope right here. Because I'm gonna still be thinking about this shit. I might have to put this on my doggone channel right here, man. But this is the thing. Once you do something that diabolical, you don't have the right to pick your consequences. Period. You better start being a wife and being someone that's dedicated. All the things that you want me to be, you better be those things also. And if you can't be those things and you breach contract, hey, man, look, all the gloves are off. That's it. You don't get the, hey, how you doing anymore? You get the, why are you still here? What are you doing? You get the, you know what I'm saying? I need you to get the hell out of my space. Why are you talking to me? Right? That's what you're going to get. Reason being is because, again, it sounds as if that man and that woman had built something together, right? And now she wants to do something totally different. She just gonna kick over the damn sandcastle? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and let's tear this motherfucker up. Let's tear it up. But I'm not about to be complying with you. You out your damn mind. You missed that. It's over. It's over. Other thing is, Don't listen to Michelle Obama and that goofy ass podcast she got. It's over with as we know it when it comes down to these so-called engagements and marriages. Nope. People gonna have to suffer. Shit is gonna have to be demolished, and you're gonna have to start back over. And it's gonna take another generation to do it. And I end it there.
Now
that's diabolical right there. That was you did it right on time before Precious. You did it right on time when we was talking about it. We was like, well, what is he gonna do? And she flashed it on our ass. I was like, damn, all right, then.
that was the way them guys editing.
Madam Toussaint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trip, you know. Thank you, I appreciate you for being here. R-Pain, final thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I put the lyrics in my song in the back there, man. I'm getting better at this shit because I'm writing the lyrics myself. Yeah, so yeah, it's in your back chat. It's only like 3 minutes long. But yeah, I just think that I think there's a psychosis running with our Black women, not all, but enough to make a difference. That, you know, the combination of feminism, this incessant inferiority complex, and you know, where everything, you know, kind of goes because the liberal mindedness is really dangerous. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely dangerous. I can't even fathom seeing any of these women in charge of anything that matters. And like I did a live on it, and like I said, it took me around an hour to put 15 Black women on that we know on some slides and said, you're an AG, you're an AD, you're a judge, you're a mayor, you're all of these things, and each one, and you know, each one of them fumble in the bag in the worst kind of way. I mean, and these are modern women, you know, from Fannie Willis to everybody. I mean, I'm saying, what's going on? And so and Jasmine Crockett's getting ready to go down too. So I said, there is something wrong with not the fact that they've gotten those jobs and those things, because some of them are elected. It's how they wield the power. It's scary. One of the reasons why when somebody says, well, you didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman, no, I can actually say around 5 to 6 different things on why I didn't do it. It had nothing to do with her sex. It had to do with her ideology. But anyway, so that's it. So, you know, so I'm not surprised that this woman would cheat on her husband and then involve her kids. But that's the kind of first time I really thought how diabolical that would be for you to have your kids involved with that. You know, I didn't think there would be anything worse than just cheating on me. You should, yeah, my God, that's like, whoa, my God,
that's crazy.
Anyway, let me just let it there. Oh boy.
Thank you, R-Pain. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me up. You know, we miss you. I'm glad you did this. I'm good now. I can go to sleep in peace.
Yes, ma'am. Oh man, keep your head on a swivel, my guys. You know what I'm saying? Keep your eyes open, man. Like, I'm so glad I'm past this type of bullshit. I feel sorry for y'all for real, man. Like, but again, man, be responsible for what you're responsible for, man. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. Like, the only thing I could think that could be worse, that the dude was his op. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way it can get any worse. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus Christ. Like, but as Michelle Obama, like I said, I knew that was gonna happen, man. Like, right. I mean, she options. I mean, she looked like she built like a point guard and like a man in the face. I mean, she got a real limited.
It's real limited too.
Real limited, man. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess they cool with it. They didn't raise they pretend kids, you know what I'm saying? Finish they pretend family and get past it. You know what I'm saying? I understand it.
Big 10 kids. That's funny.
I got questions. That's all I'm saying. I got questions. But yeah, man, keep y'all head on a swivel, man. Talk to y'all kids, man. Talk to y'all kids, bro. I mean, really, it don't take a lot, man. I ain't saying be your kid friend. Like, you gotta, it's a thin line between, being friends with your kids and being parents, you know what I'm saying, nowadays, right? But talk to your kids, man. Get an idea where they head at, you know what I'm saying? And stop being so damn scary. Black people, could y'all stop being so goddamn scary, man? Everybody ain't out to get y'all, man. I understand the world be worlding, you know what I'm saying? Life the one thing about life is that you can't count on nothing, right? So I understand that. But stop being so goddamn scary, man. Y'all pussy out in these streets, bro. Be honest with your kids, man. Teach your son how to fist fight. Like, god damn it. Like, if you can't fight, find somebody who can fight, man. Get them in a boxing gym somewhere, man. CrossFit, something, man. Stop being so pussy out here. That shit is ridiculous, man. Bullies was supposed to be like your first boss battle in life, my boy. You know what I'm saying? You got to get past him before you progress to high school, bro, or wherever you at, man. Y'all stop being so pussy, bro. A fight, you can go home from a fight, bro. Like, I understand we men, but y'all need to stop this shit. And the people that's co-signing this shit, I don't fuck with y'all for real. I'm being honest with y'all. I don't fuck with y'all for real, because no matter what y'all say, that's somebody's child. And just like this case tonight with old boy, what's an unreasonable with what she said with the wife and the husband? What's a reasonable response to what that man found out? What's a reasonable response? I know what a reasonable response is to me. In some states, they say you can get away with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what
right? What's a reasonable response, man? But hey, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it all figured out. I appreciate y'all, Precious.
Man.
Pretty lady. Thanks for having me. Y'all be safe,
Most
bro.
definitely. My man Rick. Yes, sir.
It's crazy because I went to my Instagram, right? And you know how you can like put a status or a note or whatever, right? So my note, now I posted this morning, right? My note says, resist the urge to retaliate.
There you go.
Crazy. I'm ending the night with this conversation, and y'all like, nah, slow burn. I want revenge.
What it is, sis. I can lie to you.
Y'all always have somebody for y'all. Just know.
Please do.
Y'all always have somebody.
I can lie to you. But I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, y'all, I'm out, man. I gotta get to bed. Y'all
hold on. Hey, Brother Rick, before you go, man, listen, man, happy anniversary, man. Have a great celebration.
Happy anniversary, bro.
Yeah. Happy anniversary,
man, for sure.
All right,
y'all have a great night, man. I love you boys, man.
Man, that's a blessed thing.
All right, Coach Fergus, on you.
Yeah, see, even old ass me can have an uncle. I got two of them, and I'll pay and Uncle Rick. You know what I'm saying? I can have an uncle. So, I mean, listen, I think this is one of the more enlightening shows in a while. It's been a little bit of everything. And Precious, you obviously can see each week that we all are going in the same direction, but our paths are a little different on how we get there. And that's a unique thing about having these conversations. That's why I say I don't think the women are really valuing this opportunity to pass information that can make the generational change. And then when we have women that we all admire in the positions that they hold, they continue to let not just us down, they let y'all down.
Yes.
They let y'all down. And it's just sad. But could you please send me that about the guy? You know what I'm saying? I don't need to see about Michelle, because she's going to be on everybody's podcast. She's going to be, by the time, go ahead. I'm sorry. You can send it to my Instagram.
I apologize. JT, you're in the group chat, right?
Yep. I'm in it. I can.
Yeah, I take that lead. I might do a live on it, because it's just wild. I'm in a unique space, been married to my wife going on 12 years now. And the one thing that she does, she always wants me to know her location when she leave the house. And the fact that my wife could actually you know, because I think she's pretty honest with me, and we talk a lot about everyday stuff. We laugh for 3 or 4 hours a day. When I wake up till she get off work, we laughing at each other. Like I said, we put together a little project. We laughed about that, you know, but the fact that she would actually manipulate children that I raised, you know what I'm saying, nurtured, and do this to me in my younger years, I probably would have had to pay the cost drastically. But today,
yeah,
I would, you know, I would do a little bit what Rick said, JT said. You know what I'm saying? Those conversations would be very limited to me. I'm a single guy now.
Yeah.
I'm cooking for myself. Ain't no leftovers. I ain't getting nobody no groceries. I ain't picking nobody for no school, no event, none of that shit. You ain't gonna see me nowhere. But the advice that he got, fellas, that was some great advice. If a woman wants to move that way on you, man, you go monopolize everything. Go talk to a different lawyer. And you can't shop around. Let them hear your case.
Yep.
So I'm saying, and you can win it in your favor. So don't panic. You know what I'm saying? Keep your evidence, because that is a grounds, even through the biblical source, for divorce.
Yep. Yeah.
So you still good. So just do it. Do it. Listen, since women know so much, do it the legal way. Do it the legal way. That way you ain't gonna get railroaded in the end.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, I just, you know, I appreciate these conversations. You know, I'm just so thankful that I'm in the space that I'm at with my wife, because I ain't going back out on them damn streets.
Ain't nothing out there.
That shit is fucked up out there. So
there's potholes and everything in the damn streets, man.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate though. But again, great show. You know what I'm saying? So,
Man, I said earlier, I was joking. I don't want to get married, but that might not be a joke.
Hey, Sean, it's starting to get serious, ain't it?
Sean don't want to get married anyway. Shit.
I don't think so, man. I did, but I don't know, man. I look at Rick, I look at you, I see all the beautiful things about being married, but then I see the YouTubes and these stories. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
It's hard out here.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I truly do. Even after, you know, dealing with my absence yesterday, I appreciate you for being consistent and just steadfast, having endurance.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. You know, my final thought is always be real with yourself so you can be real with everybody else. As far as that last video, because I'm not going to go through all of them, but as far as the last video, you know, one thing that the father has the opportunity to do is really teach his daughters about men, right? Like he raised his daughters and he was daddy and he was, you know, the person that was there or the person that always showed up or the person, you know, that's providing and things of that nature. But now, like, y'all want to be in grown folks' business. We gonna have to talk about grown folks business. And of course, you know, after all the hurt, all the, you know, emotions and everything kind of settles down, he has a perfect opportunity, because it's one thing if a woman goes out there and she hurts a man and then, you know, she comes back and her dad, you know, finds out about it and he could give her this type of advice, blah, 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 blah. But it's another thing when you actually do it to him.
Facts.
He has the first-hand knowledge on how to communicate with you, and that may even take time, because again, like y'all say, he every animal in the animal kingdom right now, okay? And you know, when you've been hit with a 1-2 like that, it's hard to, you know, recover your breath and get a good standing again. But once he does, my wish and my, you know, hope would be that he truly, you know, actually causes the turning point of how these women are viewing men or how they view men, even how they deal with other women like their mother. Like it's a lot that he can do to help them get on a better path. And sometimes it takes for pain to be, today I heard, pain is a preacher sometimes. Like pain is something that helps you do the right thing. And so, I know that the pain will cause you to want to separate and disconnect yourself from the children. Mm-hmm. But if you've been rocking with me for a while, then you know that, children need their parents at every age. They may not need them in the capacities that they need them in certain ages, but at this age and stage in the game, they need their dad to be real with them. And they did something very real to him. Mm-hmm. So it's only right that he returns the favor, but be the parent in the situation and return it in a way where they learn something, and what in the way that they show up in their community now, and the way that they show up in how they treat men, and the way that they show up and how they can't be so naive to women and the sister code. And, I don't believe in a sisterhood, and say what you want in the chat. I don't believe in it, because the sisters, in my opinion, are dead fish flowing down the stream. Okay. Thanks. Nobody has a brain of their own. Nobody wants to step outside the mold and say, wait, no, that ain't right. No, why, no, I'm not going to use a man for money. No, there are a lot of women who just think they have this cookie cutter mentality, and it's like an assembly line, and they're all just going, being imprinted certain types of ways. And this is a point where the father could really do a work on his daughters. And y'all were talking about control earlier, but that's how you take back your control. You mold it as the parent who says, all right, we doing this, let's do this. Y'all want to be grown, let's be grown, but really parent them, right? Because you just don't stop being a parent. And I know that the pain of the betrayal and all of that is going to get to you. Not saying don't deal with that. I'm not saying don't, feel your emotions and things of that nature and deal with it how you see fit, but still circle the block for your kids. Still circle the block for them, because that hurt. And for women, knowing that you hurt a man, a woman won't admit this to you, but I will. Knowing that you hurt a man kills a woman inside, especially a man that, y'all been married for so long and it kills them. And more so the daughters probably than the wife. It kills her too, but she's never going to admit that. But definitely the daughters, because hurting the person that has been providing for you and showing how they say actions are louder than words. His actions probably were so much louder than, everything. But those words that he put in that message, like, I'm fine physically, but I'm not coming home, that's when it actually erupted in them. Yeah. And so that would be my only final thought with this whole thing. Circle the block for your children, because that's how, you're already a family, and which means you're a community of your own. And so, you gotta give them the real of what's going on. And that's how you kind of take the control back from being the parent who is actually going to give them the real, than someone that's going to lie to you in real time, or, do you dirty in real time. Like, no, if that's the case, let me show you what doing dirty does, how it affects people emotionally, how now you have a web of hurt and lies, how you're dating someone, Stacey, and he probably doesn't believe you. Like, you got to get them to see what they have caused, the storm that they have truly brewed, have been kept going on. So again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys in the chat. I appreciate the people who have donated to the platform. Thank you. Definitely hit the link at the top of the chat. Follow Precious Gems. Everybody doesn't have 3 to 4 hours to watch these lives. And so what I do is I cut it up into clips. Precious Gems. Okay. definitely follow that channel. And I'm also, you know, I do this because I love, and I love doing this. I enjoy doing this. It's a service to me. Like, I love to be of service to people, whether it helps you or not. That's your business. But in my heart, I know that these conversations are helpful. And, you know, for a long time, I had the attitude like, oh, well, you know, I don't care if I get paid for it or not, blah, 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 blah. At the same time, it's like, you know, I should get some type of compensation for my time and things of that nature. And so I have to start thinking like that. I don't naturally think like that. However, you know, I'm starting to think that way. And so I'm starting fresh on YouTube. This channel hasn't, you know, brought me any luck, but I continue to do it because I enjoy being here. You know, definitely, I love having these conversations. I've been doing it for years, and I'm going to continue to do it. And so if I just got to work a little harder, I'm just going to have to work a little harder, but I'm going to be here. So again, I appreciate you guys. Those in the chat, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to Precious Gems. Okay.
Yep.
I thought the link wasn't. Is it not pinned to the top of the chat?
It's up there.
Maybe it's not. Okay.
I saw it.
Subscribe. But guys, as I say every show, be real with yourself so you can be real with others. Happy Good Friday. Have a great Easter. Jesus is the reason for the season. And don't you forget it.
All right now.
All right.
All right. Love y'all, man.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir.